it makes sense why he would not be able to sit in a restaurant where black people actually came in. What's up, Dev?
Oh, hey, Dev.
Hey now.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
So
Thanks for coming in.
No problem. I heard we're talking about race and IQ.
No.
Oh, hey.
No. We're talking about, is Jared Leto's Joker a cuck or not? That's what we're talking about.
Do
you have a take on Jared Leto's Joker? Am I the only one that thinks it's like Academy Award winning performance?
I haven't even seen those movies, and I'm not sure if I want to be honest.
Good for you.
That's probably the right way.
we're not gonna go for too much longer, Dev. So just to let you know,
okay.
I'm reading super chats now. But if you want to say anything about what we talked about, if you have any take on stereotypes, let us. You have the floor. What do you want to say?
Every single one of them is true.
Oh my God! Okay. Just being mean now.
I mean, it does seem like there's probably some truth to them. You know, they exist. They exist for a reason. They're just.
Oh my God! He has the worst fucking take.
Well, hold on. Keep in mind, I haven't thought about this. I just showed up. But in terms of stereotypes, like
obviously you haven't thought about
it. There's probably a little bit of truth. You know, a nugget of truth in there somewhere.
Oh my! Well, no, let's not. I think people know my position, but I completely disagree with it. I'll move on. Brian Bishop for $5 says, Aiden, should I describe the android of Star Trek fame as Data?
I have an answer to this.
Banging hot security officers? Data are banging hot security officers?
Okay.
What?
So it's very Dr. Polanski in the first season of Star Trek, Next Generation is very clear about this in a conversation she has with Data.
Episode, yes.
Where she calls him Data, and he says, no, it's Data. And she says, what's the difference? And he says, one is my name, the other is not. But Data is an individual, so you would say that Data is going to the med bay, right? Because he's an individual. He's a person. Whether or not you believe that.
Use the correct sentence. He says Data are banging hot security officers.
Look, Data's a person's name. So
Data is his name. Yeah. So Data is doing something, but
banging
Data
hot security officers.
But yes, Data is banging hot security officers, which he did, Tasha Yar. But
that's true.
He did, yes. I forgot about
Tasha Yar.
No, hot is subjective, so
when you put the condom on Data, do you have to actually screw the penis on too?
He is fully functional.
They've covered this already. Interesting.
It's in the show.
Yeah. It is in the show. Yeah. I got Aiden, this is the first time I've ever talked to you. Actually, we've talked a lot on Twitter. We've never actually spoken.
I know.
Yeah.
we always
are you? I invited you on. Are you guys bitter enemies? I don't know.
No, we're actually.
We've talked a whole bunch on Twitter or whatever, but we've never talked in a stream.
Well, I'm glad you could be here to talk about Data's penis, because I feel like penises always come up whenever Dev is around. I don't know why.
I'm very happy to be here to talk about Data's penis and how he's fully functional.
Do you think that Data actually had a penis inspection? Probably.
Now, did he have to go through penis inspection day? That's the question.
Regularly, yeah.
Well, I don't know. In Canada, do you have penis inspection day?
Is it positronic? Is the positronic brain?
I am asking Dev.
Men everywhere want to know.
No, I mean, in the United States, they separate us girls from the boys so the boys can have their penis inspection day. But does that happen in Canada?
Don't tell me. Oh no.
Well, actually, in Canada, what happens is they do it all together. So the boys have their penis inspection day at the same time as the girls have their penis inspection day.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Canada's so progressive.
It is progressive.
Fragaboom for $1.99 says bacon, definitely. Well, what's up, Fraga? Thanks for stopping in and listening to the stream. Fragaboom is Dan. He is a Comicsgate artist, amazing artist, Dan Fraga. I don't know if you are familiar with his stuff. Yeah. He's fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love his work. Adam is becoming a comic book artist by working at it very difficultly, very hard.
Oh, yeah.
So,
true.
Whale Ears for $5 says, Adam, I wonder if you're confusing stereotypes from data with stereotypes derived from accusations. CRT makes accusations data come from observations. Well, the CRT people will tell you their observations are historical observations from history, and they will say, if you stack up enough historical observations and leave out all the observations where white people do good things, then you have a good data set for creating some negative stereotypes about white people, right?
But I think that their observations from their own description are coming from quote unquote lived experiences or from critical cultural theory specifically, which means that there is no objective reality. So my observations don't necessarily need to line up to your observations because there is no objective reality. So any observations are basically moot anyway.
But they will say they will make an argument the lived experience is some kind of data, and even social psychologists say you have enough anecdotes and pretty soon you have data, right?
We'd call that qualitative data, and the way we would take that is we'd collect a whole bunch of quote unquote lived experiences,
totally,
and then we would try to find. Then you take that qualitative data and you run it through quantitative measures, so that you take these experiences and then you truncate them down into numbers to see how many people felt this way, generally speaking, how many people felt this way, generally speaking, and you use inter-rater analysis or some other type of external analysis to be able to measure quote unquote lived experiences in a quantifiable way.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, but I disagree. It doesn't with whalers, because it doesn't matter whether the stereotype comes from quote unquote data or just whatever the CRT people use. The point of taking information about a group and levying it against an individual person, that's the problem. It doesn't matter whether it comes from data or not.
Yes. Well, data makes it more difficult because obviously there's some evidence behind it. Go ahead.
I've got a question about this. I think this is just mostly out of my own ignorance here, but why is it that the same people who talk about lived experiences and want to rely on them so much, they also believe in Marx's conception of historic materialism, where the lived experiences should have no impact, and it's all about just the matter of things and not the idea of things,
material conditions.
Yeah,
wasn't that the postmodern neo-Marxist crossover there?
Yeah, I think it's a development of the idea. Because I don't know how to answer that either, Dev. Honestly,
well, I think the answer is just because as it became increasingly clear that Marxism fails wherever it starts, they have to kind of fall back on. You can't look at data. You have to rely on lived experiences to kind of justify your craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the data's against you. It's a good way of throwing all the data out, right? Dr. Diddler for $5 says, Adam, this take is terrible. You can't control what people will do. There are 3 kinds of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics. Well, at
absolutely,
the end there, Dr. Diddler, it sounds like you're agreeing with me, though.
No, I agree with that, by the way, too. I love that quote. It's absolutely true. But that's kind of the problem.
Totally.
You can't control what people do. That was my only point. You can't control, and people will use statistics and lie with them.
Yeah.
What is that quote from?
Where is that originally? Where does that originate?
Mark Twain, I believe.
Mark Twain, yeah.
Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it's from.
Even back then, they knew about it, eh?
Yeah.
So okay, now that I've had a few minutes to think about it and not just be coming in hot, I can give you my stereotypes takes. Okay.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I think
racist.
It's about to be real racist.
No. Like, I think stereotypes based on immutable conditions probably aren't true, but stereotypes based on things like professions probably are true, if that makes sense. You
could have a point there. Yes.
You have like the cop eating the donut, that kind of thing.
Cops and donuts. I was thinking attorneys and liars. There's a lot of
yeah, but as a former academic to some degree, not, and I will say, I spoke to people in private at my university. It's not all. It's people who are performative, right? Like some of the ways that they act, and this is academia in general. When you read studies, beware. Some of these people are performative. They won't say what they really think. They say what they really think. When you go to the bar with them, they sure do, but they won't say it in papers.
I was not a getting a doctorate or anything, but I was in academia for a while, and I have pretty much the same experience you've described, even over here, where
Oh my
there's a lot of woke people, and there's a lot of them who aren't willing to actually talk about what they really think unless you get them drunk.
Well, that's
That's
probably people in
hilarious.
general, to be fair.
Yeah,
Somebody said dentists. 99% of dentists are liars, but that actually is the truth. I mean, that's
I think that
not a
is the truth.
stereotype.
Here's a question. I have no experience in academia whatsoever. Okay, I went to college and I didn't go beyond the your normal bachelor's degree. So, are there a lot of academics who hide their beliefs about their fields unless they're drunk? Because I feel like that's unique to this critical justice nonsense.
In the social sciences, in
Mhm.
my field of communication, yes, I heard things behind the scene when we were talking in private that
They're all
were
racist behind the scenes.
no, not like that, but just weren't super pro leftist Democrat. Whereas if you went into their classrooms, that's all they proselytized because they were expected to. If they didn't, they get in trouble. They get complaints.
Right.
That's just even back, 6-7 years ago. That's the way it was. Well, it was 6 years ago. Yeah, that's the way it was. And you you get them a drink into them, and they tell you what they really thought about the stuff. I'm not going to name names, obviously, but everybody I talked to, because you have to. Okay, so academic conferences are this really. I've been to several, and they're these giant events where academics go to present papers, but really what they are is an excuse for a bunch of academics to go to fun areas and get real fucked up.
Right.
And with each other and talk shop essentially. Oh, and they'll tell you that they don't necessarily like this stuff. At least that's the way it was 6-7 years ago. I don't know anymore. That's the way
it's
it was back then.
praxis. That's what it is.
Is it praxis?
Praxis.
So when did you actually go to school, Aiden?
When?
Yeah.
I stopped going to school in 2017.
See, I was in from 2006, 2009, and then from 2011 to 2013. And I have to say, my two experiences were very different. In 2006, you could actually openly not be a leftist at school, and it would be fine. By 2011, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean my undergrad institution was a Catholic private school, so that was very different.
Mhm.
However, my graduate and doctoral institution was a public school. And that was a public university, a major university. So that was very different in what we could talk about and what was socially acceptable. And also, I mean, when I was in doc school, again, that was in, like 2016, 2017. So very different time frame.
Yeah. When the first time I went, there were still some professors who would just straight up fail you if you didn't parrot leftist talking points in your papers and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had that in undergrad.
that, yeah.
In undergrad, I had one of my first classes I took in undergrad. So this was back in 2012, right? No, 2008. Sorry, 2000. Yeah, like 2009, 2008. One of my first professors in English was a feminist and had us write a paper about feminism, and she failed me. She allowed me to make up my paper, but basically because I didn't agree with her on feminism, she was just like, "Nope, you failed because you don't agree with feminism." The end. And that's what that shouldn't be a power of professors at the undergraduate level. And it's certainly not the power that was afforded to me when I taught undergraduate classes. But she had tenure, I guess. She could do whatever the fuck she wanted. That was at a Catholic private school too.
Damn. Yeah, see, with me, like, I took some computer science, and in computer science, there was still nothing political in it. It was just computer science. That was in 2006. And there were some professors who would fail you if you didn't agree with them. But then there were some professors who, even if they had a political slant, if you could argue your case well, they wouldn't fail you. But when I went back to school in 2011, that was all gone. There was no more of that. In the social sciences side of it, and the liberal arts side of the school, it was completely politically taken over.
What were you studying, Dev, just for context?
English.
Okay.
It was a bachelor's in English, then a master's.
Interesting.
And both times, as time went on, it got more political.
Death by Sloth for $5 says, is it possible to tell where genetic predilection ends and internalized stereotypes begin, e.g., is women don't like video games biological or social? That's a super interesting question.
Yeah,
Aiden,
that
you want-
is no, that's absolutely fascinating. And that would be the point in doing this genetic research. I don't know if you could do that about video games, by the way. You could actually with monozygotic and dizygotic twin studies. Of looking at female identical twins and same-sex female non-identical twins, and seeing how, if they were raised in different environments for identical and non-identical twins, if environmental changes would change whether or not they were interested in, let's say, more typically male hobbies like video games. That would be something to study. I have no idea if that's been done. As far as I know, I have not seen any kind of study like that, but that would be a fascinating but very difficult piece of research to conduct. It wouldn't actually be that difficult, because usually with like these monozygotic and dizygotic twin studies, they're already basing their research on existing data sets. Like, because the US government and all countries' governments, for the most part in the West, just conduct survey research on twins to understand this kind of stuff. So there might be something like that that exists in the data that just hasn't been assessed yet, or that I'm not aware of. But it would be interesting to see if, two females who are identical twins raised apart in different families that are, let's say, more or less accepting of male normative hobbies like video games or comic books or whatever, would have a different proclivities towards those. But as far as I don't have any knowledge on that. I could look into it though. And again, I would recommend you do as well. Go to Sci-Hub and look it up.
You just got to make the video game. You got to make like a good husband at the end of the video game, so they're playing to like.
Oh, I want to play that video game. Hang on.
At the end of the shooter, you have to listen to
is that a
listen to
negative
the woman's story.
I
And,
negative
correctly, Adam.
That's
you
why I think I
make
like
the-
Mass Effect.
You
Like-
make the bosses
Oh,
like all other
I
girls.
just streamed that too. And
I
it's
just want
such
to
a
make my
train
perfect Garrus.
There you go.
hold on. Aiden, are you are you a Garrus simp?
Oh yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Big
I'm a
time.
huge Garrus fan.
I think every woman that I've ever met is a Garrus simp.
because
who
Garrus
plays
is
that?
perfect. Garrus is love. Garrus is life.
Here,
Also,
just-
Alistair from Dragon Age. The end.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Naomi, why do you like Garrus? Come on.
Because he's hot and confident,
Hell yeah.
and confidence equals attractiveness, and that's it. And
Oh,
also,
yes.
also sniper rifles are just good.
I like
There we
when
go.
he gets the scar in Mass Effect 2. That does it for me.
When you say hot, I don't know. I think you've lost the plot there.
He's a hot bug cat man.
Yeah, sure.
Kenrick 50 for $10 says, just wanted to say thanks for all the entertainment over the last year. But if you are going to start giving out a list of forbidden topics on your stream, I'm out. Okay, well, I don't know. Should I? Am I giving out a list of forbidden topics, guys? I feel like my willingness to talk about this is evidence that I'm not giving out a list of forbidden topics, but silence.
Sure.
No, we had a discussion, so obviously you were.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, also, I mean, I think we did actually make some interesting ground on the actual topic. I feel like we understand each other's position a little better. Like I'm worried about the negative stereotypes. There's a ton of people in the chat that are like, nah, stereotypes are not a big deal. But I mean, I don't. It's just I would feel like I was being a hypocrite if I was fighting against the negative stereotypes that CRT was creating, and at the same time saying, get over yourself with your negative stereotypes. It's like,
I
would feel like a hypocrite.
No, and I feel like for much of the talk, it's my fault for not expressing myself well, and then being callous, and that's an issue that I have. But I think we generally agreed on a lot of it, but I think it's more in my way of expressing it that makes it. I don't think we agreed on everything, but I think that my way of expressing my opinion necessarily isn't the most amicable.
I think I think I might go. I think I might go hardcore on the get over yourself with the negative white stereotypes and just form a huge like leftist Patreon. I think
No, but why
this
not?
could be this
Get
could
over
be
your,
my
get
future.
over the fucking
That's I
stereotypes.
see that on Twitter all the time. Like white stare. Why? Of course you have white privilege. Why are you talking about white privilege? You fucking shut the fuck up. That's basically
Stereotypes
what
are
people
bullshit
say.
for the most part.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So just get the fuck
Yeah.
over. Like that's my perspective. So
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I will. Maybe I will just. Maybe I just need to do this. Man up, fucking white people. Get over it, you fucking snowflakes. I honestly don't care about the stereotypes anyway. GL for $5 says saying data is the source of the problem is like saying guns are the source of gun crime. People are the issue. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
well, we did talk about that for like 2 hours. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why that's why I came up with the analogy, because I was saying I'm in favor of gun safety. I'm not, and which most reasonable gun advocates are in favor of gun safety. You know, they're in favor of reasonable background checks and all that kind of stuff, right? Reasonable gun legislation, reasonable gun. That's all they ever talk about. Night Manager for $5 says, Adam, in order to think you need to risk being offensive. Jordan Peterson. I 100% agree. Yeah. But at the same time, there are some people that are not risking being offensive. There are some people that are going out of their way to be offensive. Like they're intentionally
Like
being
us.
offensive, which sometimes, obviously, when I'm talking about the stereotype that women would play video games, if you just put like a decent husband at the end of the video game, obviously I'm trying to be.
They do play all those color matching, style matching.
I was shooting for it.
If
You
I could
got
go
to
back.
make all the bosses. What was that, Abe? Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, like, for me talking about stereotypes and stuff like that, and the idea that I ascribe to stereotypes or anything like that, that's incorrect. I don't know if that's how I came off. For example, my doctoral thesis was on the idea that women would enjoy video games just as much as men. But
Really?
women,
Holy
Nice.
but women want to have costumes. And women want to dress
Oh my
up.
God. Negative stereotypes.
A negative stereotype.
This
There's
is
all
too
the-
much from your experience playing Final Fantasy X too. Okay, you're like, I love playing dress up.
It's not, that's a simplistic way to look at it, but I went and read all this textile research. There's a ton of research in the textile field, which is just about,
Mhm.
and what my thesis was is that it was on context appropriateness. So if you're trying to deal with a bunch of raiders in Fallout, right, you want to be wearing a big, nasty armor that makes you look intimidating.
Okay.
And that would be the case for women too, but they would like to dress up. Whereas if you're dealing with a social situation, you would want to be wearing something more social, like a pretty dress.
That gives you +5 to charisma, sure.
Exactly. So that was my thesis. I never got to test it. I did a preliminary experiment, but I didn't get to finish my
That's
experiment.
funny.
I need to do it like it's like 5 years later. I still need to
Mhm.
finish it. But that was my thesis, and I think that has some validity to it. And there's actually a bunch of research that shows it probably does have validity. But that was that was my thesis.
A lot of the as video games have become basically completely socially acceptable, it seems like it's like a lot of girls play video games now. It's just they play different. There's different types of video games. They're a lot more interested in like the, was like the
the
Farmville.
data show that something like that female quote unquote gamers,
Mhm.
like 80% of them are mobile gamers.
Right.
AKA they play phone games.
They'll play a phone game, or they'll play like a Harvest Moon, or like some like those kind
Sure.
of collectible homestead games, which lots of guys play those too. But you don't see a lot of girls playing like, FPSs to the extent. I mean, obviously some girls do, but to the extent that boys do.
I play Cooking Mama on my phone almost every day, and I don't give a fuck.
Right. Right.
FPS stands for first person
First-person
shooter,
shooter.
guys, just in case you don't know it. Like for those of you who are not gamers,
Well, let me throw some more at
we
you.
know
So
we know
Ma-
the lingo,
guys dominate FPSs, RTSs, and MOBAs, it seems like still. So,
right?
and I'm not sure that gap will ever change, but we'll see.
No, it
We're-
requires. I would say as a girl gamer, like
Oh my God.
It is mostly guys who play those games, and you are expected. Like I played FPSs on the 360 Xbox Live days
Mhm.
when it really would be like you would hear slurs.
Listen up here,
constantly.
you N-word, F-word. I'm an 11-year-old. I'm gonna tell you why you suck.
Totally,
That was-
totally.
I loved that stuff though, and maybe that was just
Dude,
me.
it's hilarious when it's like a fucking
A 12-year-old
9-year-old.
calling me the N-word, like that was really fun. I mean, it was funny to me, or calling me a woman or a bitch and a slut and all that stuff. Like that was
Totally.
funny to me, but because it was usually a 12-year-old. But I don't know, that was fun, and that's gone now. You can't do any of that fun stuff anymore because
Everyone's
it was
woke.
because then when you destroy them and you and you dominate them, it's a really enjoyable experience.
What I said
Yeah.
last, I think it was last Saturday when we streamed. It feels like a lot of the woke stuff is women and beta males entering traditionally masculine spaces and not understanding like male bonding patterns
Totally,
of behavior and
yeah.
just freaking the fuck out and be like, "Wow,
Oh,
this
that's-
is so
That's
misogynist."
entirely that. And Dev, you probably know about this a lot too, about in the instances of tabletop gaming. Because you're into tabletops, aren't you?
Yes, but not as into it as you might think. I've only played online with Sargon and Arch and stuff.
Oh,
I've
okay.
I've only played a few
Oh,
campaigns,
he's
so
a fraud.
Well, Arch is
Yeah,
a great
sorry.
DM.
How
But well,
fake.
Arch is a great DM. Did he
Yes,
DM
yes.
for you or did Sargon? Okay.
they both
Um,
have. They both have. And V, but V.
V-
well, yeah,
I love
okay.
V, but I've watched his games. No, that's good.
What's
V's
the
gonna
matter
get
with
mad at me
these
now.
games?
V
What's
is
the-
a
what's
very
the-
good guy. He's a very good guy.
What
He's
is
a
the
great
matter?
guy.
Like he kills
He's-
all your characters off? What's the
He's
news
just-
on V?
He's not the best DM, and I don't.
What does that mean though? We need
Ooh,
specific.
shots fired.
Okay.
I'm not trying
Rename
to
the stream to
I
V under attack.
V kills all their characters. What did he do? Come on, give us the dirt.
just don't find that his storytelling was very good, and I don't
Oh, okay.
think he always put the characters up to the best kind of challenges. I won't be more specific
Have
than
you
that.
heard our alternate ending for The Last Jedi? We are excellent storytellers here.
That's true.
I haven't heard it actually. What is it?
I think it's
No,
better if you
let's
just
not.
check it out.
Oh, okay.
It's on another stream. Let's not go into it.
I'll
But
clip
it's-
it. It's very
I do want to ask though, Aiden. Okay, does this mean that we can blame you for the current prevalence of transactions to buy like cosmetic skins?
oh my god.
I hate. Okay,
What a
hate
good
that stuff.
question. What a
I
good
hate
question.
that stuff, but at the same time, I absolutely contribute to it. So
So are you out there like buying Overwatch loot boxes and stuff?
I used to when I played Overwatch.
Oh, my god.
Oh.
We are learning a lot
I
here.
would just buy skins. I like sometimes I want my character to look a certain way.
Oh
I also
my
it's been so long since I played Overwatch. Who's the autistic Indian woman? She's the only one I ever played.
Symmetra.
Symmetra. She was my girl because I identified with her. Also, she was really fun to play.
I will
But I have
say
both skins.
proudly, I have never, ever in my entire life bought a loot box or a skin or paid money on any cosmetic in any video game.
Me neither. Kayanin, Kayana, X1 22 for $4.99 says, Adam, wrangle your damn elephant. I'm pretty sure Aiden isn't trying to create or perpetuate any stereotypes. Give her the benefit of the doubt. Well, I agree. I totally agree.
I think Adam has given me the benefit of the doubt.
My accusation is that she may be inadvertently creating them and doesn't know it. So that's and the only reason that I'm making that accusation is because she has this attitude that it doesn't matter. And if you have the attitude that it doesn't matter, like you're not really even paying attention to that, right?
Well, I would, to finally reiterate my point on that,
Mhm.
I do think that it matters in how people utilize data. My only point, again, is that I can't control that. You can't control that. That no one, the researchers publishing this data can't control that. So,
Right.
what ability do I have other than to just I mean, what would be the alternative?
Well, I mean,
so like
you've
in
already.
science, we always say, "What's the alternative hypothesis?" So what would be my alternative hypothesis other than just presenting the data and allowing people to make up their own minds? That's what I, do in my videos, and that's what the scientists do when they publish this stuff. Is they let people read it, and they can make up their own minds as to what they think it means. Once it's out there, you can't control anything. So
Well, most of the time, though, people are using data to make some sort of argument. Like their
that
whole idea with coming up to the data is like, I have a hypothesis here. I'm going to test my hypothesis here. Let me get some data to test it. Right.
okay, that's actually kind of incorrect. So
Okay.
I don't I don't want to retread old ground, but why we come up with a hypothesis,
Oh,
directional
you're
or
just
non-directional.
confirming it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so when you're going in to conduct a study, right? I say that I think based on data that I've read before. So I've already read the wealth of data on a certain subject. You would
Mhm.
never propose a hypothesis without already having a good rationale for which to propose it. So I would have read like 100 studies on X, and then I would say, well, based on all of the 100 studies that I read on X, I would surmise based on a good rationale that X is related in such a way to Y.
Mhm.
Now, that's if I just say it's X related to Y, that's a non-directional hypothesis. It means I don't know how the two variables are related. Generally speaking, we want a directional hypothesis, which means that I would say that X is positively or negatively related to Y, or that there is a curvilinear relationship between X and Y. If that in and of itself, there's if I'm wrong about that, and this is something I've said a whole bunch of times too, if you are wrong about that non-directional hypothesis or directional hypothesis or curvilinear hypothesis, doesn't matter in what it is. If you're wrong about that, that's way more fascinating than if you're right. Because if you're right, it's based on the wealth of data. If you're wrong, that's fascinating. It's too bad those kinds of studies don't get published very often. An inability to reject the null that doesn't get published very often, and that's unfortunate. But my point is that like the reason scientists act this way is because we have a good rationale to believe things are related in one way or another. That doesn't mean it's not a prescriptive, though. As I've said so many times, it's not a prescriptive. So just because I'm talking about things doesn't mean I'm prescribing those or I'm saying it's deterministic. It's just that these are variables that seem to be related, and we should understand that relationship more. That's all it is. But again,
So
like it's way more interesting when they're not related. When you have every rationale to believe that they are. Does that make sense?
This is me giving you the benefit of the doubt right here.
But it doesn't make sense that if we have every reason to believe that the two things are related and then they're not, that's the most interesting kind of relationship. And
Sure.
you have to understand that scientists are going into it like we don't just like make this shit up.
Are you
Some
talking
of us
about a
do.
correlation between X and Y? I mean, you used X and Y in your
Well,
example.
We could use correlation or causation. So there's different forms of. So if I was doing an ANOVA, which is an analysis of
Right,
variant,
but
or
the whole point of gathering data is to figure out if the correlation is causal.
that would be a regression. That's a different type of analysis. So a regression analysis would be conducted in a different manner. We would have to do it with T1, T2. We would have to use a causal analysis. Needs be based on time lapse data. That's a regression. Whereas an ANOVA or ANCOVA can be assessed at any point of time based on two completely unrelated data sets. That's an ANOVA is analysis of variance, and ANCOVA is analysis of covariance. And so we could take those data to see if like one variable changes, then another variable changes, and that's how we could come to understand correlational level data. But a regression analysis, the R squared, that is an R squared.
None of this is sinking in. Just so
Okay.
you know. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking way over my head. I mean, I understand there's a correlation and a causation thing. I don't necessarily I'm taking your word for it. My whole thing is on the negative stereotypes. So I mean,
Right,
I
but
understand that you know your shit as far as like statistical data and finding shit and stuff like that.
right. So my point would be that like if you have okay, so let's say we have that crime and I don't know number of people of a certain racial group, and we look at these two in a correlational level as the number of people of this racial group goes up in a community and crime goes up. That would be conducted through an ANOVA or ANCOVA analysis. That's a correlational level data. However, a regression analysis would be like a time lapse. So we would look at as it went up over time, could we, and what specifically regression is looking at is variance accounted for. So we would say specifically how much variance in the total model is accounted for specifically by, in this example, the racial composition of a neighborhood. That's variance accounted for.
Okay.
Which is R squared. These are two different analyses. One of them is correlation, that's the ANOVA or ANCOVA, and the regression analysis is a causal level effect. And in some of these data sets, we are looking at causal level effects, and that's a regression analysis.
Brian Bishop for $5. Adam, why are you
Sorry.
asking Aiden why she beats her wife? Aiden, do you beat your wife? Have you stopped beating your wife, Aiden, for heaven's sakes? Please
I have
stop.
not. Never.
I don't, it's a weird situation because I mean, I understand what you're saying, and maybe I was unfair when I was talking to Aiden about, why is she so interested in this race and IQ stuff. I guess I'm really just trying to make her realize how this is totally going to be taken out of context to Charles Murray her. And she keeps saying, oh, I don't fucking care if I get Charles Murrayed. And I guess a lot of it is just I care for Aiden, so I don't want her to get Charles Murrayed, but evidently
I've already been Charles.
It's too late.
yeah, I know. I guess it's already happened. So
If that was the intent, I really appreciate that, by the way. But
yeah, why is
I
it
don't
over?
want you to. I don't want you guys to get Charles.
You
Murray,
know
but
all this stuff.
It's
Well, I'm not gonna get Charles Murray because this is the thing that's really hard and completely unfair because I have a perspective that's politically acceptable. So my perspective can be out in the world because it's fucking politically acceptable, the perspective that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But your perspective is not politically acceptable. So therefore you're at a disadvantage.
No,
so when I
don't want you to get
these
yeeted
claims,
either, by the way. That's
I'm
not
not
my
going to get
intent.
yeeted because I can't get yeeted because my perspective is acceptable.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, don't
Listen, this is the problem with the debate that we're having because and in science, you really kind of have to take sometimes an unpolitically acceptable perspective to make knowledge happen, which I think that's what Charles Murray did. And he still got Charles Murray, which is terrible because I don't think Charles Murray is a racist. I think Charles Murray has an acceptable
nor do I.
Political perspective as well.
That's the whole thing, though, is that the pursuit of science just is a reward in and of itself. It is for the benefit.
I agree.
To contribute to the wealth of human knowledge. And we can't let politics interfere in that. I know that it might seem politically incorrect, and I know that this is not the right term, but it might ruffle feathers. It will hurt people's feelings, and I hate to go back to that, but that is what a lot of this comes down to. I'm not saying you, and I'm saying it. Let's be real.
You're
it does hurt people's feelings.
You're straw manning the opposition's argument, though, because I don't necessarily think. Well, maybe not some people. Some people might be concerned more about the feelings. That's not me, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned about the feelings. I'm concerned about the negative stereotypes, which are causing tangible harm.
And I agree that I agree that that's an issue. But neither one of those things are direct result of the data. They are subsequent results from people's interpretation. And people like Charles Murray and Philippe Russian or whoever, and you can have opinions on whatever you feel about those people. At some point, there are scientists like them and Jordan Peterson who have to take a stand and say, no, data are, and obviously it's harming the academic community. It's going to continue to harm the academic community. But I don't think that people like Murray and Jordan Peterson are intentionally trying to create negative stereotypes. I think they're, at this point, actually, to use their phraseology, speaking truth to power. And And by that I mean just reporting on statistics. And I know,
I don't think Murray is. I think Murray's fucking an idiot, to be honest with you.
well, I don't agree with all his statistics either, but his statistical analysis either, but Jordan Peterson certainly is. And
Jordan Peterson is careful. I have clips
Yeah.
that I've uploaded of him talking about race and IQ, and he's fucking
he's
very careful about it.
extremely careful, but that's why
Yeah.
he is,
But
because he
Murray
knows
is
that-
not careful.
because I think Murray probably is a little bit
Well,
more like
he's-
myself and more.
Yeah, he's been canceled. He doesn't
He
care.
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Totally,
I think he's
yeah.
over it, and
Charles-
that's what happens. But
Jordan Peterson
you
is
should be able
not.
to. You should be able to just speak the truth and not have to be careful. That
Oh my god, I disagree.
really.
Fucking yeah, I totally disagree. But I mean, it's your reputation. So I mean,
No, I mean,
Yeah.
But why should we have to be careful about data, which don't?
oh my
I'm
god.
sorry, but I just
oh
don't-
my god.
Well,
I cannot believe you'll say it a million times. You'll go, listen, I know these negative stereotypes are dangerous. I know they hurt people's lives. I know that and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't understand. We could
But in the
inadvertently
academy,
like
in the
what-
academy,
What
in
is
the
the
academy,
disconnect here?
who?
What is the
who-
disconnect here?
Because who in the community
Oh my
is
god.
reading-
it's
is
so
reading-
insane.
who
It's
in the community is
insane.
reading academic research?
Do you understand that there's this giant fucking disconnect here? I don't know. Like, Sitch, help me here.
Well, I think it depends. Like with Charles Murray, the first time, I assume it was fair because he did give the disclaimer in the book. The book
Yeah,
has
he-
one tiny
very
section
delicate.
that even
Yeah.
talks about this. With if you actually read the entire book, you wouldn't think that he's a racist, which obviously
Totally.
nobody fucking did. So it kind of doesn't really matter to some extent because people are always going to cherry pick.
Yep.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
would just say, like, when you're having these conversations, I don't think people needed to give the disclaimer every single time they talk about some contentious topic like race and IQ. I think that's only necessary, like, the first time, to establish who you are, so people
Totally.
have some understanding of where you're coming from in the conversation. And
Yep.
after that, I think it's kind of on the person
I agree.
who's listening.
100%.
But I think with Aiden, I think people are pretty clear, whether they think Aiden is racist or not. I think her fans know she's not racist. And I think people that
agree.
want to get her, are going to pretend she's
Look,
racist. So
peop-
it's kind of
yeah.
like she doesn't need to. I don't think she needs to give the disclaimer at this point.
Well,
it's a great point, but the
It's a real
contention that I
funny-
have is she doesn't seem to realize that you can inadvertently create these racist stereotypes, which she admits are dangerous.
yeah, but I
So
Well,
I don't feel like
she doesn't
what
wanna
I don't
take-
get it.
Wait a minute, because when you say inadvertently create these stereotypes, the premise is that you're saying that the person talking has responsibility, which she's already said. I don't think the person who's talking about the data does have responsibility.
Right. I
know, but that's your-
disagree.
that's
I
the
completely
disagreement.
disagree. Yeah.
I think that's just going to be a fundamental disagreement then, and I
Sure.
don't know.
I agree.
I don't know how we make that.
Well, I mean, I'm
copacetic.
not even sure where I'm on in that issue.
Yeah, like equate it to a car accident, okay? Sure, you get in a car accident. It's an accident. You didn't intend to do it, but you killed a family of 4. It's like people are still going to come out and assess responsibility. Like, but Aiden, you are basically saying it's impossible to kill a family of 4. That's basically what you're saying. And I'm going, no, it's not.
If somebody takes data and abuses it, then that's on them. That's like saying that
You're
again.
saying
that's,
it's possible. It's just not your problem.
Okay, that's
Well,
fine.
yeah, I would say it's well, I wouldn't even say it's not my problem. It's like that's sort of like saying, okay, that's like saying that because you can go buy some medication at the store and then overdose on it, that it's the medication's fault.
Well, it would be. Well, I would say that's the fault of. Well, it depends. Like obviously,
If
context
I-
is here, but the doctor should, if he doesn't tell you how to use the medication properly,
Well,
the doctor, then that'll be the doctor's fault.
Okay, so because you can go buy antifreeze at the store and then go swallow it.
Right, but everyone knows you're not supposed to drink antifreeze.
But my point is, no, that's if. Well, how would we know that if we didn't conduct
I guess-
scientific research on why you shouldn't drink
I guess-
Well,
antifreeze?
there you go. There you
You
go.
keep I guess the reason why I'm getting triggered is because if you keep saying things that seem to imply that the data, it's impossible to use this data to create negative stereotypes. When you
I don't think she's ever said anything remotely like that.
Well, some of those things that she says, that's what like the implication of what she's saying is. That's why I'm getting triggered. So
But that's the problem though. It's the implication, and that's not. I've tried to make it very clear, and I guess I haven't been effective in that. Is that demographics are not destiny. So just
Well,
because
you don't have to say the accolades again. Obviously, I
it's,
don't.
it's
know.
not an
Like,
accolade. I mean, it's
no,
or
not accolades
Sure.
or whatever.
But I
not
mean,
an accolade, but I know what you mean.
Sorry.
But
Just for- I'm sorry.
it's not me just throwing stuff out because I'm trying to be I'm trying to be sympathetic or something like that. It's truly what I believe. I mean, statistics are not deterministic.
Sure.
I guess my again, I've said it like a bunch, and I hate that I keep having to repeat myself, and I don't mean to, and I really do apologize for that. But statistics don't let them apply to you, and don't believe that because there's a statistic that you fall into it. That's the only thing I can say, because they don't. I just did a video about villains, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was evidence that people who tend to be higher in Machiavellianism,
Like all those police officers.
All those negative stereotypes about police officers.
I know,
remember.
but people who tend to be higher in Machiavellianism tend to be more likely to report that they like villains in movies. That doesn't mean that because you like a villain that you're a Machiavellian, or vice versa. You can't allow statistics to feel like it determines your life.
What if you did a live stream right now, Aiden, and you set out to prove that black people had a lower IQ than white people, and that was your whole goal of the live stream, and you were going to bring out every statistical chart, every statistical data that you could possibly bring out? Do you think that would be increasing this negative stereotype about black people? I'm just curious. And this is where people will say, this is where people will say, Adam, why are you asking, are you still beating your wife question? But I mean, how am I going to ask this question? Because Aiden seems to be making the argument that she could do that live stream, and it would be obviously it would be a big deal, but she's making the argument that I'm not exactly sure what argument you're making.
Okay. In this hypothetical where I would make this live stream and say those kinds of things, I wouldn't actually say that, because I would be reading over the data.
Let me try to take it back a bit, because maybe that is unfair. I'm just saying, can you think of any situation whatsoever where you could use data to create a negative stereotype about a group of people that you disliked?
Well, sure.
Okay.
That's kind of my point, though, is that.
Well,
so then the data isn't. So then the data isn't just data.
Numbers just exist.
No, the data. No. The data is just data. But you said, can a person use the data maliciously or malevolently?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Anyone
everyone
can.
agrees with that one.
Would I? I would try my best not to. I could accidentally, but I would try my best not to.
Sure.
Okay.
But absolutely,
so if you do it accidentally, is there any culpability?
Yeah, I would say I get. By the way, people get mad at me for
Well, people get mad at us for everything.
I know.
Do you think they should be able to get mad at you? I guess.
Yeah, that's the question.
No, they absolutely should. They should hold me accountable anytime I mess something up. Which
no. But in terms, not that you mess something up, but that you say something that's true, but then someone uses it, or they kind of spin off on their own direction of their interpretation of the data that is true that you say, then has become some weird racist thing for them.
No, because they have a healthy dose of free will.
There you go.
Okay, so it isn't okay.
I mean, I guess
they do. They have their free will to do whatever dumb shit they want to do with it.
That depends how much they gave us in donations, whether they
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You get 10x free will on my channel, by the way, guys.
Adam, you don't understand how many racists you're making on your channel here by giving out so much free will. Okay?
Really? You think?
But that's what I mean.
It takes free will to fight the racism. Isn't the racism like the natural position that you have to fight against?
You think racism is the natural position?
Yes.
So, yeah. People are totally tribal. Yeah.
you
They are to
disagree?
they are to a degree, but it depends on a lot of different factors. I don't think it's
Well,
inherent.
if they grow up in a
Hmm.
multicultural setting,
Again,
then
like I said, you're
obviously
gonna
they're
have a
not going to base it on skin color, but they might base it on dialect, and there's all
there's
kinds
a,
of
Sure.
other ways that you can
Sure.
base
sure
it.
there's all kinds of things you could do, but I don't think people are racist inherent depending on the climate and the culture in which they're raised. I don't think. I mean, there are going to be cognitive heuristics. Like I said, you're going to be more drawn towards the race of whatever your mother is, or the person who raises you as your mother. But if you're a white person and your mother is a black woman because she adopted you, you will be more prone to react quickly to faces of black people. That's just seems to be what the heuristic data seem to show us.
Sure.
Do you? I don't want to cut you off, Aiden, because
No, that was
obviously I feel like
that was it. I just I don't think data are inherently harmful. Data are what people make of them, and not I nor you nor anyone can change that.
I thought we established that Data is a person, okay, and deserves our
Right.
respect as
Sorry,
individual.
I forgot. We need to pay more respect to data.
Colivar for $5 says, Adam, buddy, you can't start the argument, then engage and attack the position, and then say the other person kept feeding the topic. Well, I mean, I don't know. I try to be as fair as I could be, but I don't want to talk about this race and IQ stuff. And it seemed like Aiden showed up with like she was going to prove the point. So Aiden,
Well, okay,
please
maybe
respond.
maybe
I don't want to
maybe the
mischaracterize.
question you should have asked is if someone decided to do a video where they're going to spend 2 hours proving that there's some race IQ difference. The question is, well, why would the person feel the need to do that in the first place?
Yeah, that
And is that
the-
enough
that
to
is the
make you feel
question.
suspect that they're engaged in that behavior?
It's enough to make me feel suspect. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like, this dude's a fucking total racist. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
not
don't
going to feel
know.
suspect. I'm going to just assume.
The topic got brought up, and I was just trying to respond to it to the
Mhm.
best of my ability.
Well, but this is the thing though, and this gets to the thing of the super chat, because you're not really like the top. It's the race and IQ stuff is a sidetrack to the stereotype topic. It's not really.
Think
You don't have to
could be
prove the
related.
race. The race and IQ stuff is totally unrelated to the argument that I'm making. We could easily make this argument
but-
with the Asian drivers, which I
Right,
tried
but
to
you
do.
understand, I think what's happening here is that since that you both conceptualize this so differently. And so for Aiden's perspective is that if what I'm saying is true, and all I have to do is prove that what I'm saying is true, then I'm free of the culpability of whatever you're suggesting, Adam.
Correct.
But your
yes, I
position,
agree.
Adam, has nothing to
You're
do
not
with that.
free of the. Yeah, you're not free
Right.
of the
So you guys are
culpability,
you just have very different, I guess, perspectives
Yes.
on this.
Yes. Aiden thinks as long as it's true, which, sometimes it's true. And then immediately they're like, oh, this study was fucked up and it's not actually true anymore.
Well, I don't think that's a good argument. I mean, that's the science is wrong sometimes argument.
Well, yeah,
Sure.
science
Sure.
is
Right.
sometimes wrong, and you have to look at the.
But it is important, because the get out of jail free card that you just gave her would no longer be valid. That's the only
I'm not
reason why
I'm not
bringing it up.
giving
Well,
anyone
no.
get out of
It's
jail. I'm saying that's her perspective about how to tackle the issue. Is
Right,
that
but-
if I'm saying what is true, then what you're saying is irrelevant. But then since that's not how you're perceiving it, you're saying, well, why are you spending so much time trying to prove this is true? This sounds racist, when that's not at all what their intention is.
Sure, totally. Yeah. Well, she's saying she spends a lot of time with it because she wants to solve the problem, which is the right answer. I mean, obviously, if you're trying to solve the problem, then you got to spend time with the data.
So that's just my way of looking at it. I mean that is necessarily the way everyone has to look at it.
Sure.
But if I'm trying to figure out, why we have disparities in education in the U.S., for
Mhm.
example, I would look at well, this would be something that you'd want to look at, and
I've
and
already
that way,
solved it.
but that way we could.
I already know the real answer. So
well,
What's the answer? Adam?
wealth disparities.
it's the negative stereotypes. What the fuck? You didn't know
I
the
don't think
answer to
that's
that
the
one,
answer.
Sid?
I
don't
do think
that's
it's
the
I
answer.
would actually say that
It's
negative
totally the
stereotypes.
answer.
Negative stereotypes are a major part of it. I would
Mhm.
agree that
It's the negative stereotypes about white people.
There.
I would say that negative stereotypes about Black people not being supposed to go into academia, not being supposed to being discouraged from being intellectual. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. within
And the
Black
white people
communities.
stereotypes too, because they
Yeah.
also are like white people won't let you get ahead because they're all racist fucks.
Well, I mean, the thing with the academia thing, it sucks because Black people can get hit from both sides from that negative stereotype.
Totally. Listen. If you're Black and you have the negative stereotype in your head that white people are racist and they want Black people to fail, okay? And you think I might go for a job at this place, but there's a lot of white people that work there, and I know all white people are racist against Black people. Maybe you're thinking, well, I don't go for a job there, when you don't necessarily know. You could walk in the door, it could be like a bunch of woke left-wing liberals who are dying to hire a Black person. Oh, thank God for coming in.
Or just a corporation, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's stereotype lift versus stereotype threat.
No, the stereotype is affecting the Black person who thinks the stereotype is all white people are racist. That's the stereotype.
Absolutely.
See, this-
Stereotypes affect social psychology. They
Right.
affect in-group versus out-group.
But that's a tangible effect. That's not a hurt feelings type thing. That's my only reason for bringing it up. But let's move on. What
I
do you
think
think?
emotions play a part in it, but yeah, go ahead.
Brian Bishop for $2 says, yes, guns don't kill people. People do. I agree 100%. That's the argument. Data doesn't kill people. People who misuse data kill people. Rhymes Griffiths for $2 Aussie says, whoa, suddenly Adam is pro speech regulation. Well, I'm pro my speech regulation. I'm regulating my speech. Am I allowed to do that?
Remember, Adam, you're a communist, according to Sargon.
Oh, I know. When are we going to do a stream on MMT?
Wait,
Dev?
is this a recent thing that Sargon called you a commie?
Sargon
Sargon always calls me a commie. What are you talking about?
he calls me a commie too.
Well,
Dev is an enlightened centrist too. I don't know if you know this, Sitch, but
I
Dev
do
is
know.
muscling in on our brand here a little bit.
Mhm.
Am I?
Fine.
No,
It's a big.
I
it's
love
a big
it.
party. Everyone's involved. Everyone's invited.
Fuck yeah, I love it, Dev. Are you kidding me? It takes balls to be a centrist. Everyone hates fucking centrist.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone
Yeah.
hates libertarians. Come on. now.
For good reason. I
No,
mean,
not
yeah, I know.
true.
Yeah, for good reason.
Not
Come on, for good
true.
reason.
Not true. People love libertarians. Libertarians
I don't know
have
about
a
that.
huge.
On the
I
internet.
Maybe
I
left
watched-
libertarians right now, but
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Well, I do have we have a tentative agreement for the debate between Yarn Brook and Warren Mosler, and
Ooh,
it's
fun.
not until August, until after Yarn's traveling a bit. So but that should be a lot of fun.
He debated Sam Cedar. I haven't watched it though.
I did watch it today, and it was I tweeted Sam Cedar or the Majority Report is unwatchable. 50% of the content is Sam Cedar saying the word It's so annoying. It is so like, do you have just disdain for your audience? How can you be in broadcasting for 20 years and
Mhm.
drop 76 in the first 30 seconds?
It's called verbal leakage.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's a really fun term, isn't it?
He's trying. Oh, it's yeah. It
Leakage.
perfectly
Sounds
fits.
awful.
It perfectly fits. Yes, Sam, we know you're trying to think of what to say next. We can hear you saying, now I'm going to say something. Ryan, that was the speech regulation. Redwall 1521 for $5 says, if you create a negative stereotype about the bad parts of town like Chicago, is that harmful to people who live there, or will it save my life? I'm not sure I fully understood the locking your doors driving through town, how that's a stereotype, but I'm officially low IQ. So
There you go.
Mad Robot for $5 says, the left wants to say differences are due to prejudice, and the right wants to say the differences are due to differences between people. Differences exist. I agree 100%. Yeah, differences exist. Chris Stanley just did a thumbs up for $1.99. Thanks, Chris. Stacking Damage for $10 says, stereotypes are like prices They can tell you how something is valued on average, but they cannot tell you the true value. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I feel like stereotypes are intentional deception about most of the people. Because if you have a stereotype about a group of people and 80% of the people don't fit that stereotype and only 20% do, that's deceptive. That's deception about 80% of the people. That's why I find them useless.
You keep saying that stereotypes are created intentionally. I don't know if I agree with that. I think a lot of them just sort of form.
Okay. Do you think white privilege or white fragility is created unintentionally? Just kind of formed? I guess so. I mean, Robin DiAngelo just so
Well, no,
happened
but
to-
that's the difference when we were talking about how like CRT is intentionally doing things, where I think a lot of the things that they're responding to are not intentional, at least in today's standards. Like I don't think a lot of negative stereotypes for minorities, like there's some guy sitting around a table like, okay, what are we going to say about the black people, the Jews today, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
do you disagree with it?
I mean, I think they're formed intentionally by certain people, and then they catch on because other people are just not really thinking about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense to me." Sure. Asians
I
are
just think
terrible
people have
drivers.
interactions with certain groups of people, and then they have the easy pattern recognition in their brain, and they just go with it.
Well, I think also a lot of times they can have an interaction with people, and if they're primed to believe the stereotype, they could
Well, that's true
see
too.
whatever,
Yeah, of
whatever,
course.
yeah,
Definitely.
whatever they want to see. Like, the guy forgets to use his turn signal, and all of a sudden, oh, I knew it. Asian drivers are terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, when it's really something just innocuous. So
Right. Or you wouldn't notice it if they didn't conform to the stereotype.
correct. Yeah. The smoking jacket for $2 says Philosopher King should have the guns.
There you go.
Okay. I should have the guns. You guys don't get the guns. Guns are only for me. Only crazy Californians who smoke a lot of weed get the guns.
There you go.
That'll work out well. Alan Powell for $5 says you cannot copy and paste guns. Then email them to millions of people, Adam. You can only stop misuse of information by restricting it. So he's basically saying, well, my whole idea is that at least people who would call themselves maybe science educators could think about it, right? Like cops have to be trained for safety. Shouldn't media people be trained for this kind of safety? I mean, they're not emailing
Well,
it
they
to
generally
millions.
Actually, they are in journalism schools. They are trained into how to present things ethically. I know because I went to journalism school for a brief period of
And then
time,
they disregard that training.
and they disregard it. Yeah.
Well, if it's conservatives, though, we want to create negative stereotypes about
Right.
conservatives, right? All conservatives are racist. That's the negative stereotype that's going
Mhm.
around
That's
Correct.
certainly one. But
that most journalists want. That's not a dangerous stereotype, is it, Aiden? How do you feel about the all Trump voters are white nationalists? How do you feel about that stereotype?
we'd have to present me with data, and I don't think the data betray that conclusion.
But that's the beautiful thing about stereotypes. You don't need data. You just know it in your gut.
Okay.
You
So
just
yes,
know that it's true.
sure, that's a stereotype.
How many people do you think have not gotten a job because of that stereotype? Because they figured out someone voted for Trump and all Trump voters are white nationalists. God, I
think
know
that
so many people. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it certainly affect my job prospect. Not
I was about
not
to
where I
say.
live.
Yeah.
But I mean, sure, probably negatively. But that, here's my libertarian side, I guess, is that is their right as business owners to do that.
Oh my God.
But would you say
I
that about
know.
any other group? I that's
I know
my
so-
my pathetic Lolbert side, right? But we would have to have data on that. And actually, I found
Oh
some
my
interesting
God.
I actually found an interesting piece of data. Speaking of which, real briefly, I'll just drop it here because it's fascinating. Is that there was a recent poll that was just conducted about finished conduction 10 days ago from the Trafalgar Group that found that 1/3 of Biden voters don't think he's actually in charge and making executive decisions.
Mhm.
Oh, they think like he's not cognitively able to, or something.
that someone else is making the
Gotcha.
executive decisions or executing the extent of his capacity.
Sure.
And it's only 11% of GOP voters think that he's doing that.
wait,
so-
wait. One.
Only 1/3 of Democrats don't basically think that Biden's in charge of executive decisions, and only 11% of Trump only 11% of Trump voters think he is in charge of executive
Oh,
decisions.
okay. I gotcha.
If anyone has to bolt, they can. I have quite a few super chats. I don't want to keep you
Go
guys.
ahead.
You've been on
I
for-
I drank a whole big
Oh, okay.
drink of PewDiePie energy drink before this because it was late and I
Ugh.
knew I had to stay up. So.
The smoking jacket for $5 says, say a stereotype was based on objective truth. Would it still be bad? Uh-oh. I mean, I have an answer, but I don't want to.
Well, I don't. You can't build. That's the whole point. The point of stereotypes can be built on objective facts, but they don't apply to the individual. So that's not. It's like a not like it's a contradiction.
I would also say that facts can't be morally valenced.
Well, I would even say a stereotype on its own is not. I don't think it has a moral. It's not morally neutral or positive. It's just that usually when we talk about them, we think of them in neutral terms.
This is why I love Sitch, because Sitch just nailed it. I mean, totally nailed it.
Yeah, I agree.
Stereotypes can't be objectively true. I keep saying that over and over again.
But they can be.
They can be based on
Based on-
a something that is a fact.
Yes.
But stereotypes in and of
They're
themselves.
all
yes.
the ecological fallacy. I hate to bring out the fucking fallacies because you sound like a
No, it's true. But a stereotype, a
fedora
stereotype,
type.
Phallic Adam.
a stereotype, basically by definition, is a presupposition.
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
maybe based on data, but maybe
Right.
not.
Totally.
So
Except for the Trump one. That's obviously based on data. All Trump voters are racist. We know
Oh, come
from
on now.
January 6th, right?
That's
The
true.
Oh, they're
fucking
never-
attack on the Capitol.
it's so weird how that's become
the
9/11.
deadly Capitol insurgency. We're gonna get in trouble just for talking
I think if you-
negatively about the negative stereotype.
I know. Well, I did vote for Trump, so I should be castigated. To
Oh
be
my
fair.
God, Aiden,
I voted
why
for him
did you do
twice.
Such a thing.
You let this Trump voter on your stream,
confirmed.
Adam. Oh my God.
I know. I'm
Hey,
guilt by-
look.
I platformed her. Damn it.
Hang on. Before that, I voted for Ron Paul and Gary Johnson. So like,
Two bigots
Wasn't-
that were against the Civil Rights Act. Okay.
Yeah. How many times did
was
you vote
Ron
for
Paul
Dennis Kucinich? Sitch?
I voted for Dennis Kucinich in the primary
Oh my,
Oh my
God.
God.
in Maryland in 2008. So, so
See,
what a bigot.
Aiden is not prejudiced against little people. See,
Oh, I love Dennis Kucinich. I don't agree with him on like anything, but I liked him as a person. That's why I
I
voted
thought you
for
were
him
gonna
in
say
the
you love
primary.
little people.
Maybe I do.
stacking damage for $5 says Sitch is 30% aloe. What does that mean?
Aloe?
Yeah,
Like-
like
like-
aloe vera? I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm relieving the burn between.
Oh,
you
that's
guys.
probably it.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's relieving the burn. I was getting burned so hard.
You guys are burning each other. Okay, I'm just
Oh,
trying to be the voice of reason here.
Fozimo for $5 says, does this framing help Adam? Race and IQ data is used to destroy the negative stereotypes that white racism is the reason for the disparities between races. I know that that's the intention of it. I just don't feel that that's
Effective.
going to be the outcome or an effective strategy.
Sure.
And not only that,
Mm.
I think that when you come out and make that argument, you're playing into their stereotype that white Trump voters are racists,
Mhm,
basically.
well, I don't know how you mitigate that issue, because again, as I've explicated,
Mhm.
that's why I brought it up, is how do we explain what we're seeing? How do we fix it? But unfortunately, you're going to get put into a box, which doesn't look like. If you think the alt-right likes me, that's not accurate. But I don't know what you do other than
Well,
just
I run a
report on it.
comedy show, so I don't have to report.
Oh,
on it,
Exactly,
thank God.
exactly,
I'm lucky.
Yeah, Aiden, you just said that you run a comedy show. You don't care
Why
about
is
that.
that- is that how I
it's the
escaped from
ultimate
it?
out. Here, Aiden, let me help you out here.
Except I pretty specifically like this is just science.
It's
Oh, well.
comedic science, right?
Yeah.
I do put jokes in it. I do put jokes
That's
in it.
right.
That's how I get away.
You have jokes in your videos all the time, Aiden. What are you talking
I have
about?
so many in the video I'm working on right now. I have so many Hyperborean jokes about Biden going to the North Pole. It's an extremely esoteric meme, but that's whatever.
There you go.
I'm so bad. I got two $50 super chats here and I didn't read them first. So I'll read both the $50 super chats. William Icebane for $50. Thank you so much. That is so generous of you. It just sounds like Adam thinks a group of elevated intellectuals should handle any and all data because plebes could misconstrue it and create negative stereotypes. Not trying to come off as a jerk in describing it, just the best way I can put it. Yeah, that definitely is a way that you could look at it. It's honest, and I think people can look at it that way. That's not my intent, though. Definitely not. Like I'm not for telling people what to do. So go ahead, Dave.
That's what I sort of took away from it, accurately or not. And as someone who tries to advocate for autodidactism, and I don't believe this.
I'm an autodidact.
I know.
love
I don't
shit.
believe people should spend
Yeah.
$100,000 getting these degrees when you
Mhm.
can learn for yourself. And so I'm totally in favor of self-education. And so in terms of maybe it's my cynicism towards academe having existed in it and knowing how the system actually works and how incredibly corrupt it actually is that makes me suspect of how it works and function. But I do think everyone should try and learn for themselves. And that doesn't mean that what your personal opinion is reality. Like there's people out there that think all kinds of ridiculous things about like flat earth and stuff. And they've quote unquote done the research, right?
Mhm.
But let them think what they want. That's their free will to think what they want. And I do think people should make up their own decisions about everything by looking into the research as much as is within their capacity, because I know not everyone has the time to do so, and that is the big thing, is the time restraints and the intellectual capacity. By that I don't mean intelligence in terms of like how smart you are, but how much cognitive energy you have available to divest in this.
How do we? Sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
that's it. You just gotta you have to just. That's on an individual person to person basis.
I think we should lock up the flat earthers. Fuck them. put them in the jails with those that say pop. Okay. Get rid of them all.
Hey, pop is how it's supposed to be said.
No.
Oh no!
Oh,
the real fight is
no.
about
Get
to
him
start.
out of here. Kick him from the jail.
we're about
No, I
to
can't.
throw-
He's my guest. You have
We're
to be
about
nice
to throw
him.
hands, Dev.
So Aiden, how do you avoid the Metal Gear Solid 2 problem then?
Which
Where
Which one?
At the end of the game, where
Yeah.
the Patriots say that humanity is
Mhm.
just awash in a sea of meaningless data, and so they all end up segregating themselves into their echo chambers.
yeah, it's called a filter bubble.
Yeah, but how do you avoid that problem if everyone is just teaching themselves?
You can't.
It sounds like we're fucked.
I mean, I
Well,
don't think the way we're doing it's
But
preventing that either. So.
We have a far greater ability. So if you look into the filter bubble research, for example, did I say filter bubble? The filter bubble research, you will find that yes, most people will put themselves into filter bubbles, but with this incredible access to information that has never existed before, ever in the history of humanity, there will still be people that can break out of their own bubble and try to learn and digest information that falls outside of that bubble. And that's the awesome thing about the internet and things like Sci-Hub and things like Google Scholar, that you can break out of it. You can educate yourself. And by educate yourself, I don't mean it in like the obnoxious way people say, like, educate yourself. No, I mean, you should listen to medical stuff, listen to your doctor. Okay.
No.
don't listen to your doctor. Listen to your dentist, Adam.
No, liars.
but when it comes to this more debatable social science stuff, and by that I mean we don't have all the answers. No one does to the social science sort of. It's not like this is definitive, hard, settled science. No, it's not. No, nowhere in social science is it. You do if you have the time, you have the cognitive resources to devote to it. Don't, again, as I said earlier, don't listen to any of us. Go do the work yourself, and if you're interested, and try to figure out what your own opinion is. That's my only real stance on it.
Cullivar for $50. Thank you so much, Cullivar. I think Cullivar gave me $100 super chat too. Cullivar's like amazing. Says Sitch rules. Sitch rules. Hope it's Sitch. Are you here? Sitch stuck off. I might have to read that again. Rise Griffith for $5 says, Adam, replace gun with screwdriver and your analogy falls apart. Data is a tool first, not a weapon. Well, you may actually have a point there, because I do think data can be more weaponized for different people. Like, obviously, if you're Rachel Maddow on MSNBC, you could definitely weaponize data more effectively than if you're just somebody who's got a YouTube channel. So,
well,
do you guys agree?
Yeah. And on that point, real quick, something that I find, this is my biggest pet peeve on earth. I'm going to let it go real quick. Trust the science is the most frustrating phrase.
Hell yeah.
I fucking hate it. It makes me so irritated. No, don't just trust science. Don't just trust anything. I mean, trust people, trust your doctor, obviously, but don't just trust someone who's
doctor. Get a second opinion.
Yeah. Hang on, that's actually true. Get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Don't just trust things blindly. Like, the reason why, oh my God, the reason why scientists, they don't trust other scientists. That's why we question each other. That's why we make response papers to each other. That's why we retest the data. That's why we test it over and over and over again. Because data is just a measurement of it's just a measurement of something. It's not definitive, and particularly not in the social sciences. And by the way, everything that I've talked about, the race and IQ stuff, that's all very likely to be to change over time. It has changed over the last 100 years, and it likely will change. So don't just trust things blindly, particularly not if you don't understand the methodology. If you don't understand the methods, and this is not meant to be disparaging or belittling to people, because I think that it's very easy to be, I think it actually, if you have the time, I don't think it takes a lot of time to be able to understand how to read a scientific output. Don't just trust what somebody else, including myself or anyone, tells you what data are. Go look it up for yourself if you don't trust it, or if you're skeptical about it. You should always be skeptical of data. Always.
Stacking damage for $5 says, Italian food is good. Doesn't mean you'll like all Italian foods. It's an aggregate. Don't apply it to every dish. This is the thing, because this completely sidesteps the whole idea of what a stereotype is. A stereotype is not an aggregate in any way, shape, or form. Correct? Like, I'm correct about that, right?
Yeah, it seems like it. Just thinking about it quickly.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, what are you aggregating? You're aggregating that,
that's what an average is. It's a mean.
Like, most Asians are just a little bit bad drivers. I mean, what are you aggregating?
Well, whatever. But it
doesn't understand. I don't.
That's the whole point. A statistic is just a curve, right? Generally speaking, it's not always. It could be a U curve or a negative or.
When you're talking about populations, or you're talking about a certain characteristic of a number of people in that population,
right? And
you can't aggregate the entire population over the behaviors of a few people in the population.
No,
that's the whole point. This is why stereotypes, I'm categorically against them. They're deceptive.
You can isolate a population and see, like, oh, okay. So we could isolate the African American population and find that they tend to have a susceptibility to, let's say, sickle cell blood disease, right?
Sure.
That's a normative sort of curve. We find that they tend to be.
They often test immediately because they know their high percentage of them have that. Yes.
Or, for example, that African Americans are also more susceptible to high blood pressure, and therefore need to be more aware and more careful about that.
Well, they're always getting shot at. Of course, you'd have high blood pressure. What are you talking about?
I mean, these kinds of things, these are averages. It doesn't apply to every African American. It doesn't apply to every person at all points of time.
Right.
But it's something that you would need to be aware of and should be aware of if you're an African American, to be more careful about your cardiovascular health, right? And
Sure.
it doesn't apply to everyone, nor is it a prescriptive or determinant. But it's just something that they should be aware of. And it's just like any other statistic. It's not, it doesn't say anything about you as an individual. And if there's any one thing I could impart on people, please don't take statistics and apply them to yourself. They don't mean that.
Aiden is already on record saying stereotypes are useless, basically. I mean, she agreed with me on all
Yeah.
that
No, I
stuff.
do
Yeah.
agree. Don't ever apply a stereotype to yourself because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It,
The people in the chat are the ones that are like, Adam, you're totally wrong. Stereotypes are fucking great. They totally apply to people. They're basically right. They're always right. Like, come on, guys.
Are people really
Really?
saying that in the chat? I'm not-
They do
not
say
reading
that.
it.
They said that when Aiden and I had that fight, a bunch of people in the comments of that video were
do
saying
we have
that.
a fight?
It's
I
like,
didn't think that way.
Are we
well, a
fighting?
tiff, whatever. You cried. Come on.
Yeah, last time, not
Wait,
this
wait,
time.
you cried?
Last time, Adam hurt my feelings a little bit.
Adam
it
was
wasn't
very
a-
mean.
I didn't
he
see
just
this.
he just took me off guard. That's all. It just took me a little off guard. That's all it was.
Well, to
So-
be fair, Adam, it was you thinking about the past of hurtful memories. It wasn't.
We had
Adam
a
was just a mean person.
we had a private debate about whether or not we would be allowed to clip the crying because it would get a bunch of views.
Oh my God.
We
Did,
de-
did you
we
do it?
de-
I don't know.
We
Go ahead.
decided against
No,
it.
there was no
We-
debate. Adam was joking. There was no conversation.
Yeah,
about that.
there was no
It
debate.
wasn't weeping. It wasn't like active weeping. It was
No,
just
no,
I got
no.
a little bit. I got
It
a
was
little bit. I just got a little bit upset.
I'm now we can just ride Adam forever because that happened though. So
Did you
No,
hear
don't.
Cullivar's
No, that's
Cullivar?
the fucking thing. Don't.
I know.
Please.
People are
oh, it's too
still-
late. You don't have a say in
The
this
beginning
matter.
of this stream, all of the chat sits the beginning of the stream. How long before Adam makes Aiden cry? It's like what everyone was saying.
No.
Look,
They
I
are
came
gonna
in
be
prepared.
riding it
I came in
forever.
prepared this time.
You brought
I
tissue?
did.
Oh my god!
Actually, I just brought a whole pack of cigarettes.
Did you
Oh,
did you hear
no.
did you hear Cullivar's $50 super chat Sitch rules? Or
No,
were you did you?
I
sneak
wasn't
off,
here
Sitch?
for that.
No,
That's
he was-
awesome. Thank
Cullivar
you.
for $50.
Thank you.
Sitch rules.
Thank you, Cullivar.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Cullivar was it Cullivar? I think it was Cullivar. It was Cullivar. So he was like DMing.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta save Adam
Save me from MMT or
from
what?
this
Or
conversation.
12-year-olds voting or oh really?
There were
Well,
so many
thank you.
people when I started talking to chat. They're like, "Sit, you have to get in there immediately." Okay.
Really?
okay, okay.
Why?
Because
it
you guys were
wasn't
just
that
talking
bad.
past each other. Well, I came in and I asked people what the argument was, and everyone said, "We don't know. It's been an hour. We don't understand what the argument's about." So
Okay.
Well, I think that was the whole issue. I think
Right.
Adam, I think you and I do generally agree on most things, but I think
I
maybe
think
we
we do,
disagree on
yeah,
the
totally.
method.
There's like a stylistic agreement, which is just so tiny. It's like hardly even worth.
Well, that's what I mean. I maybe
Yeah.
method's the way I would describe it, but yeah,
Sure.
a
totally.
stylistic or method, whatever it is. I think ultimately, I think probably all four of us SFO.
Yeah.
Too as well. I think we
No,
probably all agree.
SFO said he loves stereotypes. What are you
Oh,
talking
dude.
about?
Oh,
Come
right.
on.
He did. Actually,
He
that's
did.
Hold on,
I
I
know.
clarified that.
Dev said there's
They're
stereotypes
totally
are real.
useful. Yeah.
I said when it comes to professions, I think they're useful. Otherwise,
Yes.
probably not.
Yeah.
What, like
And-
women in the workplace
No, like
being gossipy?
stereotypes about a profession.
I know.
Sure.
I was actually thinking something. So, Sitch, you mentioned earlier, if you
Mhm.
don't mind, Adam, it's your show.
Yeah, go ahead. No. By
Okay,
all
so
means.
Sitch, you mentioned earlier.
I mean, I
Um,
mind. Jeez.
Oh, okay, no, all right. You said something about having to the first time you talk about data, like
Mhm.
race and IQ data, the first time you talk about it, you have to present your that you're not some kind of raging Nazi or something. But after that,
wouldn't it be
you
like-
shouldn't have to.
It wouldn't be. My rule would be if you're like a new person on the scene, people don't know who you are.
Oh, totally.
You should probably lay down some sort of groundwork to just explain like what your purpose is for doing all this stuff. Because if
Totally.
it's like, oh, here's my first YouTube video. Let me tell you about why black people are stupid. You know, like you're like, everyone's like, wait, what's going on here? Like,
Making
you know,
friends.
That's a different way of presenting data.
yeah, like it's,
It's
you know, there needs to be some sort of like, and this came up a lot in when Sam Harris was talking to Charles Murray, and then subsequently when he was talking to Ezra Klein. Like,
Sure.
he was saying, I understand the first time you talk about something, you want to lay down all the disclaimers, but does every single time you have a conversation, do you have to do this tedious disclaimer like again and again and again? And I agree, it's just ridiculous at a certain point.
I guess, yeah.
But I guess what was your question? Were you disagreeing that you
Oh,
should
go
have
ahead.
to do that in the first place, Dad?
No, it's just that it reminded me of the situation with Destiny recently regarding the consent and rape take. If you guys know what happened there.
I don't.
what?
Oh.
No.
Sounds mischievous.
So basically, he was talking. He was commenting on a post who said that there's a guy who's been out of the dating game for like 20 years. He doesn't know how to date at all, and he got invited over to a girl's house.
Mhm.
And should he or should he not be expecting sex? That was basically the situation. And this guy got absolutely destroyed by the internet for even asking the question. It was a sexist thing to ask, apparently.
Right, of course.
But Destiny said, well, no, like this, like she's inviting you to her house. It's kind of like an
Mhm.
intimate place, and she's kind of exposing herself a little bit. So
sure.
it would be reasonable to expect that maybe that's what she's interested in. Not like if she says no, she says no, but like to expect it is not unreasonable. And Destiny got destroyed for this take. And then the entire conversation became about rape and consent and not about unspoken social cues, which is what it's actually about.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, so many if you have a conversation about a leftist about sex at all, it will always come down to consent and rape. Every
Mhm.
single time. You must outline how you feel about consent and rape, no matter
Oh
what
my
the
God.
conversation is. And it's like, at some point, can we talk about something else? Like, I don't
Right.
think you should have to, present a giant essay on how you feel about informed, enthusiastic consent before you have a conversation about something related to sex that's not
Nuanced.
about consent. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And
Definitely.
like what you said, Sitch, kind of reminded me of that, because that's happening right now, not in terms of race and IQ, but in terms of sex and consent.
Well, I think, no, I understand what you're saying. And the difference is that there's always going to be this woke, not always, hopefully, but right now there's this woke alt-left contingent where they're just looking for any excuse to go after people, to dock people, like the tattle on you. They're all let me look for your fuck up. So anything that even remotely sniffs or smells of racism or sexism, they're going to dock you points for.
Well,
And those
they're in
people-
the power position. They're in
Yes.
the power position, so they're
Well,
seeking to
some degree,
maximize and
yes.
use that power, I would say. Yeah.
True. And I don't think you should ever do anything to try to please those people, because those people cannot be pleased. And when you try to please them, you're just conceding power to them. You're just giving up. So when I was saying was more just for the average person, okay, not the all left people, but for the average person who's going to be like, well, why are you talking about X in the first place? The Adams of the world, who are
Totally.
very triggered by stereotypes and stereotypes threats. That if you just lay out what your groundwork is beforehand, at least once, I think that's fine. And that at least you have to give yourself some culpability too, so that when people try to defend you, they have something to draw upon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that's how you would probably handle the race and IQ situation, is that if you want to talk about it in good faith, you should outline that you're talking about it in good faith and what you plan to do, but kind of accept that there's going to be a fringe of crazies who think that you're just a Nazi, and that's just how it is, you know?
Well,
Maybe-
Yeah,
and
you should never try to
I'm
do it for them.
I'm sorry about that. If that look again, I'll be the one who gets blamed. I hope you guys don't. I'll
Well,
be
you-
the one who gets blamed.
You touched on an interesting thing, Sitch, and I want to mention it before it goes, because maybe that's why I am getting triggered, because I want to defend Aiden. And if I'm in a position where I just can't defend her, then
I
I'm
don't think
fucked.
that's why you got triggered. I think you got triggered because you perceived it as being hypocritical, because you focus so much on the negative stereotypes of CRT.
Yeah, that's
And then
true.
so
Yeah.
so I think that was the issue. But you don't have to apologize, Aiden, because it actually made Adam look better to the Serfs. At least the Serfs was all like, "Oh,
Yeah, I'm friends with Lance.
Adam
Lance
is
gonna
Adam is
come on.
awesome now." So he liked Adam getting mad in that conversation. So I
Lance-
think actually
Lance is-
helped it.
Lance has reached out to me, and we're going to do a live stream on one of my Thursday streams, man. Lance,
I'm,
is
Really?
I'm
willing to
actually
argue with
shocked.
me, yeah.
If they covered me on some kind of stream, I didn't get like anything above my normal level of death threats. So I'm shocked that they got mad at me, because I
Well,
didn't
Lance
get
is
any.
like the
I didn't see
small
any
fish in
response to
bread,
it.
too.
Yeah,
Lance
well,
is-
And also,
Lance-
Lance's hate boner is for Sean, not for you. So primarily.
Oh,
True.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I did see a little bit of it then. I did see a little bit of that then. Yeah,
For
he
Sean?
really he really focused on actual Justice Warrior Sean more than he
Mm.
did on me. And you want to know my opinion on that?
Sure.
Oh, it's because
Yeah,
I'm a
let's hear
woman.
it.
Absolutely.
He wants to bang her.
No. It's that it's that Sean was in that conversation too.
Mhm.
And he knew Sean would be, first of all, he knew Sean would be an easier target from his perspective, I believe. And I don't know Lance at
You
all. but
fucking Aiden is Teflon. You're
I
so
don't
true.
think. I don't think. Wait. What do you mean Sean's the easier target?
because I'm a woman and because I cite studies all the time.
I understand what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. you
Sean's
could
a
be
safer Sean's a safer target for
Right.
him.
Right. Okay. I got you. That makes
Because
sense.
because I'm a woman and I'm gay and I do studies all the time and I'm only half
Sure.
gay.
I thought you were
whatever.
bi though.
Yeah,
so,
half
Aiden.
gay, whatever.
I think
But
that
That's
I mean,
like nothing. Right?
actually, I actually think half gay doesn't give me
People
any
hate that.
protection whatsoever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't,
actually, that
it
might be the
doesn't.
worst thing to be.
Yeah, I think you lose
Yeah.
points.
Okay, but and because if you go and look at my channel and like pull up my videos, it'd be really hard to be like, look at this race. It'd be like, oh wait, it's just like a bunch of
Hmm.
fucking studies. It's not fun. Whereas Sean has
Sure.
more reactionary kind of video. I'm not saying that Sean's a reactionary, but it's reacting to leftists a
He's
lot.
literally reacting, not reactionary.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
not
you could call
reactionary.
Sean a reactionary.
No,
in
I
any
meant-
way, shape, or form.
As in,
Right.
he is reacting to
Right.
a lot of leftists
He
and
does
being
response videos.
a bit adversarial towards them, and I think
He's
that makes him an
totally
easier target.
adversarial and condescending as fuck. Sean, what the hell?
It's fun. It's fun, but I mean, I think that makes him maybe not an easier target, but a better target. How about that?
Someone in the
Yeah.
chat says, "Find a woman that looks at you the way Aiden looks at Data."
Oh, it's never
Oh,
gonna
that's
happen. No offense to you.
Let him dream. Come on.
Let him dream.
Don't shoot
Dude,
down
when
his dream.
I unironically so much enjoy reading studies. It's not even funny.
per Sun 100 for $10 says, I noticed something, Adam. You talking about the black culture lacking scholastic promotes a negative stereotype, does it not? You accuse Aiden of doing the same thing, only she does it with Data. Well, I'm doing it. They mentioned this in the video that we never actually watched, and it's two black guys talking about it. So I'm just riffing off what they're saying. Maybe they're wrong. So, but I agree with you in that that if I'm promoting a negative stereotype, yeah, I should be held accountable for that.
Just because black guys say it means you can say it, Adam? Jesus.
I know it is a little presumptuous of me. I admit it. The word on the street is, I don't know, Aiden, is there any studies on the scholastic? I feel like the lack of interest in scholastics, I hear a lot of black people talking about that, but I don't know if it's ever been studied.
I don't have a study off the top of my head about it, but I would imagine that there is a cultural perception there, and I do think there have been studies conducted on this, but don't quote me because I don't again have it right here. But I would say, as someone who grew up in downtown Baltimore City, there were a lot of black people, even in my school, which was a parochial. Well, not parochial is probably not the right word to use. I went to Baltimore School for the Arts, which to be able to get in, you had to apply. You had to go and do a performance in front of a bunch of adults to be able to get in. It was extremely elite, quote unquote, even though it was a public school. So half my class was black, but when I would go over to their houses to like for parties and stuff, I didn't think that they necessarily had the kind of same maybe parental or community based support that I had.
They didn't have the tiger moms, the Asian
No, they
tiger
didn't.
moms.
They did not have the tiger moms.
That's what they say in the video. They're like, I think it's John McWhorter that says, if the black community had all these Asian tiger moms, things might be different.
Well, I mean, again, like, the class I graduated with in it, I'd be very clear. There were like 12 people in my graduating class. So, but of them, half of them were black. And
My mom would beat the shit out of me if I didn't do well in school. How about your mom?
Well,
Aiden?
some of those I knew some of their moms, and they would have as well.
What about you, Sitch? Mom beat the shit out of you?
Then not physically, but I was threatened with military school at one point.
Oh my god!
It
Holy
didn't really
You
help
guys-
though. So
You guys didn't get the worst threat of all.
what's that?
I'm disappointed.
Oh yeah, no, that's the one I got. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
that's-
one that
that's the one I made.
devastated me.
That is the nuclear bomb. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
My parents made a huge mistake, or my mom made a huge mistake because
Mhm.
being like the good liberal hippie that she was trying to promote in me like you shouldn't care about what other people think. You should be entirely focused on like internal gratification, all this stuff. And it worked a little bit too well because then I didn't care what they thought. How they
Yeah, you
threatened
were
me.
like-
So if they were like, "I'm disappointed in you," I'm like, "Well, that's fine."
Dev, Asian tiger mom.
Actually, I never really had any problem with that. I never got threatened regarding
Were you
grades.
just a naturally gifted student?
I mean, I got pretty high grades all the way through school.
Oh, okay.
look at him.
So I never had to.
Yeah.
I never had any problems with any of that.
Ah.
However, I did waste a whole bunch of money my first time at university. I failed the entire first year because I was completely
Really?
unprepared. I was
Oh,
completely
wow.
unprepared living. I went from like over 90 average in high school
Mhm.
to failing every class.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what happened to my best friend. She was like this. She was our she was our valedictorian. I was a salutatorian, and she
Oh.
went to college, and when there was no adult oversight, just
That's interesting.
Yep.
flunked out.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't just adult oversight for me. It was finally getting attention from women.
Oh, there
That
we
was a
go.
lot of it.
See,
Oh.
women
Ouch.
don't care about that shit. So we
I was too much of a player getting the puss to study in class.
is
Yeah,
that what
that
it
makes
was?
sense.
Such
Dev
an
was a
alpha male.
player. Wowee.
Well, if I had to choose between studying and like getting some action, I'm hands down fuck studying. Whalers for $2 says let 12-year-olds use data. Don't be authoritarian.
Let the 12-year-olds
God.
use data.
Yeah.
Let the 12-year-olds use data.
Adam,
Sorry.
Adam will let 12-year-olds vote, but he won't let them hear data about
Very
crime
interesting.
statistics.
The negative stereotypes are actually more dangerous than a 12-year-old voting. In my
Oh my
opinion.
god.
Sport Nugget for $5 says seeding the truth to bad actors only makes those bad actors more powerful.
That's true.
I'm not seeding the truth though. I mean, the whole idea. That's another question that I had for you, Aiden. How do you deal with the people who you know are using the data nefariously? I mean, we don't have to go to the white nationalist example. We can go to the CRT example. Like they're cherry picking history to create negative stereotypes. They're definitely using this stuff nefariously. How do we call them out?
Well, I would say it's a free will thing. I hate that that's
God.
I hate that that's the truth, but
Sitch and I
that's-
don't even really believe in free will. I mean, mildly, like 5% of free will's out there.
I would say it's a free will thing, and again as a Lolbert, I in no way, and nor can anyone, by the way, affect what other people will do. The entire idea that we can even understand what other people think or what they're doing is solipsistic and ridiculous. So the idea that we can we can control other people's actions is absurdist.
But my problem with negative stereotypes is they do guide a lot of people's actions. I mean, they're basically so you can just turn your brain off and react.
Yeah, heuristic level response. I
So they
understand that.
do control people's actions. You're saying
But-
you can't control people's actions. Well, if you plant this negative stereotype in the world, which the CRT people definitely want to do, you are literally controlling people's actions.
In a way, I would say that when CRT is taught in schools, particularly in
Yeah.
grade schools, is what I'm talking about being taught in grade schools? Or is it
No.
postgraduate
they're
doctoral level
white
data?
privilege. White privilege is what they
That-
want to
No,
teach
no,
in
but the
K
things
through
that
12.
Aiden is talking about, it's not being taught in school.
Me talking about statistical analysis
No,
that's
no.
that's being published in psychological journals. No one's citing that. No,
But
in grade schools.
I'm reacting to you saying you can't like make people do stuff. The whole point of stereotypes is
Oh.
to make people do stuff.
Can you make people do stuff?
Yes, you can make Democrats vote. You can make Democrats vote Democrat if you create a stereotype that if you vote for Trump, you're a racist. Yes, that's the purpose of the stereotype. To guide
Sometimes.
the behavior.
Sometimes there is this wonderful thing within human
Mhm.
psychology called reactance.
Yes,
So,
psychological reactions.
so you're well aware of it. And
Yeah.
the reality is that there will always be a portion of the population that when you say, this is how you're supposed to think, this is what you're supposed to do, and they'll say, no, fuck you. That's absolutely, I will do the opposite.
Yeah, that's Adam.
That
That's
That's what I mean.
That's a small portion of the population, though.
probably like
So, I
20 to
mean,
30%. I'm just guessing. I don't know the statistics on that, but I think that a
They're
good
all
portion of the population.
libertarians.
Yeah, it probably is us. I get it. But it is us libertarians, but well, us being me. But or I don't know if you identify as a libertarian or not. But like, yeah, it will be a small portion of the population. But human society is not homogenous. And
I'm,
so
I'm,
it
I'm losing the point, Dave.
my
Aiden,
point
sorry.
my point is that it even if you try to enforce these kinds of ideas on human society at large, there will always be dissent. There will always be people who deny it.
You're basically saying there's nothing you can do about it. So
Well, what else are we supposed to do right now until we can
we're
say that
fighting CRT like crazy.
exactly all we can do in and of this moment is try to show where CRT fails, is try to show where CRT is hypocritical, is try and show where CRT is not useful for students. But in the interim, it is hopeful and white pilling, I guess, to imagine that a good third of people, I would say, are never going to be indoctrinated into this stuff because they experience psychological reactions and they're in some way immune to indoctrination.
15%, I say. I don't
Can't
know.
believe you
I
said
don't know.
white
I don't know the
pilling.
percentage.
I'm offended.
Jacobs, what? How are you offended? What happened?
She said white pilling.
Oh, yeah, that is racist. Jacob
Oh, sorry.
Stanger for $2. Is Mark Grayson from Invincible a simp? Which one is Mark Grayson?
Mark's the
from?
main character.
The main character.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
a little
total
bit for
simp.
Adam Eve.
He's a simp.
A little bit for
I
Adam
don't know if
Eve.
he's a simp. He's a fucking beta male. So
He's a
that much.
cuck. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Ooh, strong word.
it's strange for
Cuck and a
people
simp.
who've only watched the show versus me, the Chad comic reader.
That's
oh
true.
my
Well,
god.
I'm only
oh
guessing.
my god.
I don't know what the comic is.
No, he is a simp though. To be fair.
Oh, there you go.
Render unto Caesar for $4.99 says Adam does not want to go where the forest is the darkest for him. Fuck yeah, that's right. I'm fucking Hufflepuff here. I got
What
my
does that even
scarf right
mean? I
here.
don't even know what that means.
I'm a
Oh,
Hufflepuff.
dude, I have to-
forest is
I have to
darkest.
fucking admit I'm a Hufflepuff now too. I don't like it at all.
My wife got me this scarf.
Oh, that's awesome though. That's
Shit.
super cute.
I think my wife is Slytherin, unfortunately. so,
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Better watch out.
Hufflepuff is a good house though, to be fair.
Is it?
Cullivar
I wish I was
$10.
Ravenclaw, but
What do
I'm
you mean,
not.
Is it? What do you mean, is it? Don't make me
Wait,
kick you.
are you a Hufflepuff too, Dev? Is everyone here a Hufflepuff except for me?
What's the matter with Hufflepuff?
Fuck,
Deb, were you a Hufflepuff?
lame.
No, I was a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Dang it, I
nice.
wanted to be Ravenclaw. I think I should be allowed to change.
You
You should be
retake the
allowed to
test.
pick your own, right?
Well, that's sort of how the Sorting Hat works, is that you kind of get to pick.
I
But
know.
Yeah, you're just gonna ask it. Oh, Aiden, did you read that thing that I sent you yet?
what?
Did you see that
Did
thing?
you get that thing I sent you?
No.
Did you get the thing I sent you?
What is that from? What show is that from?
Harvey Birdman.
Oh yeah, Harvey
Get the
Birdman.
thing I sent you.
Did you get that
Okay.
thing I sent you?
I sent Aiden a Harry Potter fanfic that is
Oh
excellent.
yeah, you did.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you
Oh,
did. I
really?
didn't read it though. Because I'm not gonna. I will read it though. But
Okay.
it's like when someone sends me a Harry Potter fan fiction, I kind of have a sort of response of like, ugh.
No, listen. This one, I
You did
do
tell
not.
me it's really good. You did
I
tell me
don't
it's
like
really good.
fanfics. I don't read them. This one, I think everyone has to read.
Why
All right.
did you send her a Harry Potter
Is it
fanfic?
good?
fanfic?
It's really good. It's
Wait,
really
what
good.
precipitated this?
Because
Um,
Dev and I talk
is it-
in
what-
DMs.
About
What-
Harry Potter fanfics? Like, what's
What makes it great, Dev? Don't keep us in suspense here. Is there like a lot of sex or something?
It is an alternate history of the Harry Potter story,
Oh.
but Harry was raised by a physics professor.
Oh, yeah. You did tell me. Yeah, I
Okay,
have
now
to.
I understand why you sent it to Aiden. That was
Yeah,
why you
that makes sense.
Yep.
I have to read it now. Now you put me like on the fucking spot on live.
Sorry.
So now I have to read it.
And
Don't send it to me, I don't
he's
wanna
like
read it.
he's
Send it to
hyper
Sage.
he's hyper intelligent, and he's constantly talking about studies, a lot of psychology. It's
Oh
it's a
my
really good story. It's a
Oh
really
my-
good story, and you would
What?
love it, Hayden. You would
Oh
love
shit! Now I'm defo gonna read it.
it.
Holy fuck!
Literature Devil in the chat. Literature Devil, hey, what's
Yeah.
up? For $2 says every Harry Potter test tells me I'm Slytherin. I believe that.
Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense. Cullivar for $10 says Sitch rules. Aiden is awesome, but A team reigns supreme even when we disagree. Unlike S class, who has trouble wiping their mouths. Caffeinated
I
tweaker
thought
for two-
Cullivar was all like, I'm so glad Sitch is here. Now he's like, all right. What the fuck? Make up your mind, Cullivar.
Caffeinated tweaker for 2 Canadian says chat is mean. I'm defending you, Adam. Thank you, caffeinated.
Chat is
tweaker.
mean,
Thank
to
you
be
so
fair.
much.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but sometimes Adam deserves it.
I know. I do deserve. Well, most of the time I deserve it, not sometimes.
You didn't make me
on, I'm
cry
a
this time, Adam. No,
contrarian.
you've done a really good job.
You're still here. There's
Is that the
time left.
bar? The bar is so low.
Wolfsbane for $5 says just rewatched JP's interview with John Anderson today. No matter the IQ, intelligence, and education, if you have no strength of character, you lose. Totally, 100% agree. Yeah, it's that's why a lot of times people place too much emphasis on IQ, and I don't like it. But
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree.
Mhm.
yeah,
Completely agree. Don't place too much emphasis on IQ. First of all, first of all, don't take online IQ tests. They
Mhm.
don't mean anything. They're not real IQ tests. As someone who used to administer IQ tests, they are not real on the internet.
thank
They're
God.
Not, they're not real. They can't hurt you, Adam. They're not.
No, it definitely hurt me.
Make you feel
hurt
so
my
stupid.
feelings.
They're not though. Like real world IQ tests have to be administered by.
I'm
at least
smart
1 people.
already.
Just don't worry about
Fuck
it. They're
you,
not
online
real.
IQ test.
I used to help administer IQ tests though when I was in undergrad, and no,
Yeah.
that they're not real IQ tests.
Oh my
Secondly, IQ tests are not for the millionth time determinant.
Yeah, Max, you to B for 10 SAR says 12-year-olds should look into race and IQ data.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, Aiden, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
So if you're saying that IQ isn't determined, yeah, fair enough. We keep hearing a lot about how IQ is the #1 predictor of lifetime success. Like how does that square up?
Is it? I thought it was IQ paired with conscientiousness.
It's a
Yeah.
number of factors. It's never okay. There's never basically one variable in isolate that can predict something alone.
Mhm.
There's
It's
very few times.
Machiavellianism.
It is Machiavellism. You're
I'm
correct,
sorry,
Adam. No,
I'm just kidding.
no, I know. No, there's never really one a variable in isolate that can predict anything. I would say with psychology, you're generally looking at like a maximum of 40% predictability. That's at a high level, maybe 60%, maybe depending on the variable. But and specifically what you were asking about, Dev, yeah, you are going to look at people who tend to be higher IQ are going to have more success because they tend to be more forward thinkers in a lot of ways and be better planners. So I don't think at 4 a.m. it's a good time to bring this up, but no one ever talks about the cold winters hypothesis. So why does IQ even exist? And why are there different differentiations between
Oh, no,
large groups of
it's-
people?
I thought this is the weather thing. The winter thing?
No, it's not a weather thing.
It's the winter thing. The
Yes,
planning
but it's not a
Africa winter
It's
thing.
not actually. There's a really fucking funny ass fucking study that got published like 3 years ago. Oh, Pesta and Poznansky, 2014, who were like, well, we looked at different states in the United States and we found that like nobody in different states had different IQs. No,
Well,
that's
that's
not what the
stupid.
cold winters
Yeah.
hypothesis is. The cold winters hypothesis is that people who lived in areas of the world that had changing seasons, and it doesn't matter if it's Asia, if it's you're in the Yangtze, or if you're in the Indus or the Tigris or the Euphrates, or if you're in Europe, if you were in any area where there was a change in environment over time, where you had to plan going forward based on how much food was available, that would be a component in IQ, and it would explain why we have European people and Middle Eastern people and Asian people who tend to have quote unquote higher IQ than people who are in sub-Saharan Africa. That's an explication for that tendency. That's about all it is.
I
Why'd
never
I
bought
bring this
that.
up? You don't think that makes sense?
No, I don't think that makes any sense.
It
whatsoever.
might make sense. It's a possibility, right?
I mean, we're talking about IQ is not something. It's something that's over the course of 40,000 years of evolution, right?
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, if you really wanted to pull some genetic thing, I mean, wouldn't it be more likely that Neanderthal DNA probably has something closer to do with it than?
Wouldn't it make more sense that over 40,000 years people got used to learning how to farm
Well, no, because it's
or
I'm
live
sure
in their
that- I'm sure
environment?
people that lived in Africa had lots of things they needed to plan out. Like it's not like
Yeah.
just planning for seasons isn't the only thing you plan for in life. Like there's a lot
That's true.
of so that's why I'm saying it. To me, it seems kind of like they were looking for the answer backwards, and they were just
Actually,
looking for
yeah.
some differences.
That's a good counter to the cold winters hypothesis. I'm not saying it's the definitive. I'm just saying
Sure.
that's like an explanation for why Asian people and European people and Middle Eastern people tend to have higher IQ than sub-Saharan Africans.
And it
That-
also
that's
wouldn't,
that's why people. That's an explanation for it.
it wouldn't explain, like if you just look at Asians, it wouldn't explain why Asians would be higher or specific groups of Asians would be higher.
They still had to base a lot of their farming around rivers.
No,
I
but I'm
think
saying like it's
it's
not like
bogus.
Asian farmers
Right,
had to
bogus?
do better planning than European farmers, like for the seasonal
Probably.
planning or something.
Well, it's about the inundation of the river. Same thing with people based around the Nile. Why Middle Eastern people would have higher IQs?
That
I don't
sounds
believe in this
really
theory, by the way.
bad.
I'm
I
not
know.
I'm not ascribing it. I'm saying this is the theory.
Gotcha.
This is
I know.
this is the
Sounds so
theory
Good.
that,
I'm glad,
that would explain all this stuff.
glad you can
So-
see right through this bogus theory.
I'm just saying this is the quote unquote cold winters hypothesis that's supposedly put up as to why there would be differences in groups of people.
Some CRT scholar came
Knock
up with
it
this
down.
hypothesis.
Go ahead and knock it down, guys.
Oh my god. Did you see this, Adam?
What,
Uh-oh.
will you?
They
What?
put me in Fortnite.
Oh, really?
I thought
Oh,
they
yeah.
were.
Suing
yeah, I
them.
saw the thing.
Yeah, they
I'm
did.
suing them. They put
I
me in
saw it.
Fortnite,
I
guys.
saw the
Can't
thing.
Wait,
believe
where's
it.
this?
They did put Sitch in Fortnite. I saw this.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't see it though. Where'd you post it?
Well, it's in my DMs between me and Adam and CT, so you can't see it.
Oh,
can-
okay. Oops.
You can share your screen and I'll put it
Slide
in
into the
the, I'll
DMs.
bring it up if you want to share it. If you want to
Why
share
don't
here,
you
I'll read some super chats. Well,
I have too many tabs open to share.
I lost.
I've been trying to find videos
super
for
chat.
Sunday.
William Icebane for $5 says, "How many midgets? How dare you? They're called little people.
That's true.
Would it take to beat a bear in combat? Well, what is the little person packing?
Are they
I mean,
unarmed?
Yeah, are they unarmed? Do they have a rocket launcher?
If they're
One
unarmed
with a rocket
that's-
launcher. Yeah,
That's rough. If it's unarmed, that's a rough
that
fight.
is tough. Yeah, but
I
I,
mean,
would
I-
totally pay per view to see that. To be
I think.
honest.
I think. I mean, how many normal, average-sized adults would it take to take out a bear unarmed? That's a
Probably
Yeah.
like 10 anyway.
yeah. That's pretty rough. I don't.
I'm
how
gonna
would
go
you-
50 midgets. What do you think?
they
Again,
have to
again,
swarm it like.
Here's the problem with statistics.
Easily done.
What's the average strength of the little person?
Couple
What
of
if-
them are going to get eaten.
what if
but
you
it's
got-
okay.
You got like 2 little person bodybuilders.
I don't think that would matter at all. I think it'd make no difference.
Probably not.
How would you
I
take
don't
a
know.
bear out with your bare hands?
That is a
Pun intended.
question. Actually, I have no idea.
don't
That's
even
really
know.
scary.
Because I mean, like, besides trying to gouge its eyes out while it's like killing someone else, I don't know. Like, where's the point of attack on a bear? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's eyes, I guess,
you
or it's
punch a
butthole.
bear,
I don't
like-
know.
Kicking the butthole.
Or balls. These are vulnerable areas.
Well, here's here's Mike. Can you like punch a bear in the skull? Would it do anything to it, or like I have no
No.
clue? Because some animals
Break
with
your
skulls are
hand.
so thick it would just do
Like
nothing.
if you're boxing it,
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you
You
had
would
like some
eat your
MMA
fist.
fighter who like can really put a lot of force behind their punch, and they punched a
Nah.
bear as hard as they could in the face, would it do anything? I don't know.
Nothing.
I do recall seeing a video of a Russian MMA guy wrestling a bear.
Wow, that's crazy.
Was
it-
it
it-
Vladimir
it-
Putin?
It was not. It was not Putin. It was actually a real. But it was a baby bear though, so you could actually take it. But he was wrestling
Oh.
bears.
Oh, what?
So.
He probably killed it though.
Person 100 for $5 said you'd rather be raped by a dolphin or a duck. A team coming out with only based questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So I think we all have to answer this question.
that one did slip out.
What would you
I'm
rather
gonna go.
be?
I'm gonna go with the
What-
duck. How big a fuck? what
Yeah,
am gonna
I think
fucking-
duck.
You might not even feel it.
Well,
Although they do have a corkscrew penis
Oh my god! Why
right,
did
they
you
do,
have to
they do.
say that?
yeah, they do.
because it's true.
Yeah, but dolphins are.
Adam, you can't
prehensile,
hide from the
so,
truth.
you know, it's like the same.
Well,
distance,
isn't it?
right?
Isn't it also
Dolphins
the case
what?
that
Their dicks
go
are
ahead.
prehensile.
Yeah.
What's
It's
that?
like a little
mean?
arm. They can like grab things with their dick.
Yeah,
No
it's like
way!
the-
Oh, that's scary. That is
And-
scary.
and then also they
Scary.
can keep underwater. You know, ducks can't do that.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
true.
Sitch, get in the jacuzzi with the dolphin. Here it comes.
Okay, but I think to make the question fair, you have to say assume the duck and the dolphin are like the same size.
Oh
Why?
God.
A big duck.
No, come on,
It's a
you're
big
ruining
duck.
the question.
Well, because otherwise it's too easy. Obviously, if
duck,
you have
yeah.
to get raped, you're gonna choose the one with the smaller penis.
Yeah, totally.
Come on, it's a no-brainer, guys.
Some are easy. Some are
Here,
easy.
here at the Adam and Sid show, because it's Thursday, we ask the tough questions.
The easy questions. John Smith for $1.99 says, "No one cares about your opinion on stereotypes." Actually, it's in all caps. Do I have to yell it? No one cares about your opinion on stereotypes. Yes, we know, John. We know. We
It's all right,
know
I
no one
care.
cares.
I care.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alan Powell for $5 says, "I'm A team again, Adam." Oh, nice. Just wanted to say 2 Spurgs, 1 chat is my favorite format of your respective shows. Also, is Dwarf Fortress worth it, Aiden? What's Dwarf Fortress, Aiden? That's a game you've played?
Oh.
Game.
Dwarf Fortress is absolutely worth it.
Okay, there
If
you
if
go.
if you like if
Big
you,
endorsement.
if you have maybe some kind of mild autism, then you would really enjoy Dwarf Fortress. Just saying.
2
So-
Spurgs, 1 chat.
So Aiden, are you one of those purists who absolutely hates the idea of a Dwarf Fortress graphics pack?
Mhm.
No, I have used graphics packs, so no.
Ah, it's not pure then. It's not a
I know
pure
it's not,
experience.
but no, I would say that you need to experience it first without the graphics pack, but then if you want to play it later, same thing with the Space Station 13. Like you can do mods and stuff on it later, but play it pure first.
If you want to play Minecraft with graphics pack and shaders, you're allowed. Okay.
You are allowed. Same thing with Minecraft. Yep.
I only play creative mode.
What?
Isn't that
Ew.
disgusting? Yeah, right.
It's
Oh my
nasty.
God.
Yeah,
Where's the challenge, Adam?
I
Exactly,
know, that's why I
exactly.
love it.
like my server is pretty strictly survival because creators for cucks.
True.
So,
I'm
sorry.
I'm building my utopia. Fuck all of you. Jacob Stanger for $5 has an interesting question here. He says, "Does my lived experience count if negative stereotypes and anti-Semitic jokes were used on me, even if I'm not a Jew, simply because of how I looked?"
Wait, what's the
Well,
question?
everyone thinks
Yeah.
I'm Jewish, and I get called.
Really?
Oh, I've
Oh,
been
maybe
called
that's why you don't care
so
about it.
many.
You're like everyone thinks I have the immunity idol, so I'm safe.
I don't, but
Mhm.
I've been really clear. I'm not Jewish. But
Wait, you're
people-
not Jewish? I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh. I have been called the K slur so many times.
Oh, that sucks.
No, I don't care.
I mean,
well,
I always
obviously,
knew
why
you
would I
weren't
care?
Jewish. You
Why
weren't.
would-
I've never seen you at any of our meetings, so.
I know. Well, the problem is that I talked about it one time in a stream like 5 years ago.
Mhm.
But how my grandfather went to the Holy Land, and we had when I was growing up, we had all these Torahs around the house, and I thought we were Jewish.
Oh my god, hilarious.
I
That's
didn't
funny.
know, and so people were like, "Oh, Aiden's Jewish, Aiden's Jewish," because that means
She let
something.
it slip.
Because that means something to weirdos, right?
Yes.
And whatever. But no, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Well, the negative stereotypes are bad anyway. That's why I don't like them. One horse-sized duck for $20 says all I had to do was make my presence known and sit shivers in his person of shadow suit. I thought people like him were braver than that. 2 weeks later, and all he can do is ad hom me.
I don't know what
Come
he's talking
see
about.
How strong these bones really are.
I'll take out this is lies. This is
The
bullshit.
horse-sized
This is
duck is
slander. This
coming
is
for
false
you.
remembrance. I said I would take out a horse-sized duck. It was Adam and Mahler who were trying to make
know.
all sorts of excuses about not fighting the horse-sized duck. Okay.
Well, we're
I don't think
we're
anyone-
animal rights activists here. We don't want
I would be very afraid of a horse-sized duck. Just saying.
Dev, would you take out a horse-sized duck in a fight?
How edible is
I don't
this
know.
horse-sized duck?
No,
Just
do any of
edible
you
as any
think
duck.
it
Actually, pretty
would-
good, actually.
Again, the horse-sized duck, it's gonna rape you, my dude.
I don't
You
think.
gotta run away from its giant curly dick.
Oh my god!
Okay, just to leave the rape fears, we'll say it's a female duck.
Oh, okay. All right. I would be more willing to try and fight a female horse-sized duck.
Horse-sized duck.
There you go.
Sitch, you third wave feminist. Men can be raped.
Mhm. But not by females. Oh, I guess they can. Never mind.
Not by female ducks. Okay, specifically.
Actually, wasn't there a
What
thing
about
also
the-
about how female ducks' vaginas have like a different curve?
Yeah, they do
It's all
because it's
weird,
a
yeah.
spiral. It's a spiral to deal with the
Oh my
horrifying.
god! It's a
male duck
fucking-
penis.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. How do they
It's awful.
disengage? Well, do they have
Well,
to spin
because the-
around?
The pee-pee, it gets soft and it goes back inside the male duck.
Oh, okay, good. Thank
So
goodness. Andrew Clark for $5 says, "Can Aiden have honorary title of person of shadow for how much YouTube has shadow banter?" Oh my god. I
That-
think
there
it
you
would
go,
be
that's good.
a nice gesture. Just battle station. Yeah, that sucks. Are you getting shadow banned, Aiden? I don't pay attention. to
Sorry, I
that
accidentally
stuff.
I've been shadow banned.
Mhm.
It depends. I'll tell you what.
Might be the
Oh,
race and IQ stuff.
No,
I'm just-
yes, I don't
I'm-
talk about it. I don't talk about that shit on my channel. I don't because it's not interesting.
She's
to
smart
me.
enough
Yeah.
to know. I talk
Yeah,
about
she's-
it on our
why are we
channel.
talking on my channel? Oh my God, we're gonna be.
No,
I wonder if
no.
I'm shadow banned.
Up until the election, right up
Uh-huh.
until it, I was getting like 60, 70, 100, 150, 200,000 views on average.
Mhm.
And then right after Joe Biden
Wow,
gets elected,
holy cow.
it
holy
went down
cow.
to like 20.
I didn't know you were
15.
getting those kind of views. I was jealous because you. I mean, I don't get many views, but you get like 20,000 views is great. So, but I
20,000
guess if you're getting 200,000 views, you're like,
20,000
fuck,
is,
that's
is like really
10%.
fucking frustrating when you were getting 150,
Yeah.
200,000.
I didn't
a
know.
couple
I had
months
no
before.
idea.
Well,
I had no
it's,
idea.
I'm
I was
actually
like 20K. What are you complaining about? Jeez.
look, well, it's a little frustrating when you spend a month working
no,
on
I
a
know.
video.
Yeah.
And I know you know because you put a lot of like you actually like go out and film
I
it
have.
and stuff.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
and
I've
you've done,
I've done a lot of videos and spent a lot of time doing it. Yeah, it's a lot of
Wait,
work. It's
but you've
fucking
gone out
ton
and
of
like
work.
actually like filmed yourself and done stuff like that, which
Yeah.
I don't do. I just do research.
I did the kissing challenge. It was great.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I haven't
Um,
done a kissing challenge video.
It's okay. It's gotten better. In the first like 3 months after Biden got elected, YouTube was just like, no, we're not going to show any of your videos. And it was like 10K, 10K, 10K. And then it went up again more to like 50, whatever, like a relatively more, again, I have 100,000 subs. So like,
Mhm.
and I don't know how you feel about this, Deb, because you and I have a very similar amount of subs, but you also do more like almost daily, not daily, but more daily sort of weekly
Frequent.
content. Whereas
Mhm.
I can't do that because I don't feel comfortable doing it, first and foremost. And secondly, because I'm trying to make like not many, full on documentaries about certain subjects. So
Yeah.
that it's weird because that's what I was told was like, that's how YouTube works, is that you do big videos and that works. And I've also been told by, I don't know.
Well,
Sorry,
I know
I'll-
that. I know. I know. Oh, sorry.
No, just real quick. Sorry. Is that I've been told people always tell me make shorter videos, and I can't because if I make shorter videos, they won't be accurate. So I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place, right? Go ahead, Dev, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, first of all, like the algorithms change multiple times, right? Like at one point, long videos were the thing, and now they're not so much the thing. At one point, daily 10-minute videos were the thing, and now they're not. Like these things change. Secondly, yeah, there's definitely a difference between making a 2-hour video that has 100 studies in it, and then spending 10 minutes talking about how you feel about something. Like those are different types of content. They're both worthwhile, but they're different types of content.
I want to talk about my feelings.
My
Render Under
feelings.
Caesar for $4.99 says Aiden. Says Aiden isn't waving the gun around. She's just picking it up and showing it to you, but you're freaking out because she's holding it. Well, I'm
That's
freaking
how
out
I
because
perceived it, but sorry.
yeah, no, I agree to a certain extent, but she's also saying she's basically saying this gun can't hurt you. And I'm going, that's a gun.
No,
That can definitely hurt
No, a
you.
gun. It's a gun. It's still a gun no matter what.
Okay.
It's like it depends on the hands that are using it and what they're
Yeah.
using it for. That's the thing with everything.
Well,
in
when I'm
science.
getting triggered, I'm just saying your hand's getting a little close to the trigger and the safety's off. And it's
Practice
like
your trigger discipline. please.
it's at my
Wait, can I
It's
ask
at
a
my
question real
head.
quick?
what?
Adam,
Go
do you
ahead.
think I'm really trying to to use data to
Not remotely.
hurt
No,
black
no.
people?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I don't,
right.
but I do think that you do say things that can be mischaracterized, and just Sitch and I do that too inadvertently, but we always help each other like not get clipped. And I mean, if you're not worried about getting clipped, then
Well, I'm
it's
gonna
not a
get
big
clipped no
deal.
matter what. But people don't.
well,
read it.
we're all gonna get clipped no matter what. But I mean,
So that actually makes me feel very happy that,
Mhm.
and it made me feel a little bit better. Is
listen, we're talking about ducks and porpoises
I
fucking us.
know.
We're gonna get clipped, okay?
but you don't.
Rape
You don't.
is not allowed. We
I
can't
know.
talk about this stuff.
But I do. Just to double check,
Mhm.
you don't think I'm a racist trying
No,
to
not remote. I wouldn't invite you on my channel if I thought you were a racist. Not in the least
Well,
bit.
guess
Yeah.
what?
Oh, I'm wrong.
What's up,
Oh
bro?
my god! Holy shit! Reveal stream right here. Aiden's coming out. We gotta banish her to the lake of fire now.
No, that makes me feel a lot better because sometimes I'm like, oh Jesus.
Yeah,
I hope
no,
not.
not at all. Not at all. The Observing Utako for $5 says, I've seen enough families of a certain demographic that are shelling around 67 or even 10 kids. Not saying universal, but ... Yeah, I guess, see, is that a negative stereotype? Perhaps.
Sure.
The Observing Otaku for $2 says the woke will win because people are stupid. Sorry. Well, that one I actually agree with. So,
Oh my god. One horse-sized duck in the chat says, Aiden, this is slander. I would never rape. How dare you? Now you
I'm sorry, Duck.
now the duck's coming for you.
Uh-oh.
Metal
Oh
Metalwork-
no.
Metalworks
Hide.
41190 for $2 says, is it possible some ST might stem from culture? What is stereotypes? Is it possible some stereotypes might stem from culture? I
Sure.
think probably a lot of them do stem from culture, but
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. William Icebane for $5 says, screw stereotypes. Let's get to the important things in life. Who'd win in a fight, Kirk or Cisco?
I think Cisco could overpower
Who's
Kirk.
Cisco? I know who Kirk is,
From
obviously.
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space
Oh,
Nine,
oh, yeah.
Jeez, Adam. Oh my God.
Kirk
Wow,
would win?
me?
Are you making it because Cisco's black, right? You're forwarding negative
No,
stereotypes
she said
about.
Cisco when.
I said.
Oh, you
I
said
think
Cisco.
Cisco's.
So what are you
actually-
saying? So you're forwarding negative stereotypes about blacks being like
no, I
mean
think
or
I think
something?
I think Cisco's more tactical than Kirk.
Cisco seemed cool. I think
Kirk,
for the
Kirk,
half
Kirk
of-
is more forceful. Cisco's more
Mhm.
tactical.
He got
Yeah.
into a fist fight rarely, but there. What was the episode he did get into the fist fight with?
He
someone?
did. But I think Cisco would be able to outsmart Kirk.
Sitch, you've watched Deep Space Nine. I'm losing all respect for you.
Of course I have. Wait,
What?
we've literally
It's
talked
really
good.
about
Watched
Deep Space Nine.
Nine?
I think me and
It's
Aiden
amazing.
have literally talked about Deep Space Nine on the stream, and I guess your brain just shuts off when we talk about Star
Deep
Trek.
Space Nine. No, I loved Star Trek, but Deep Space Nine, I think I've watched.
Deep Space
half an
Nine is-
episode.
I will say this as a huge Trekkie and as someone whose favorite Star Trek series is the original.
Mhm.
Deep Space Nine is the best Star Trek series.
Really.
Yes, it is.
Objectively.
Yes, it is.
Maybe I
Yep.
have to check it out. Maybe
I-
I'll
okay.
give it a chance.
I don't agree with this. No.
You don't agree?
What?
What do you
Oh,
think?
Really?
The end of it was awful.
Yeah, that's true. But what
So,
would
like-
you say is better, Sitch?
Well,
Yeah,
I
the
don't
final
know.
season. Yeah.
I'm
I
saying
think TNG is still my favorite. It's still my favorite.
yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's a good. I think
What
Deep
is
Space Nine
this?
is a better
Cisco.
total series, but that's just me.
Cisco punched out Q. Is that
He
for
did.
real? Oh
That's
my
what he did,
yeah.
god!
Yeah, he
Okay,
did.
Says,
well,
I'm not
I-
John Luke, and he punches him in the face.
Yep.
My
It's
god.
great.
Okay, well, yeah. So then obviously he wins.
Well,
Hands down.
Deep Space Nine had one. I think that the intro episode was amazing. It was like, and
Oh,
you probably like
yeah.
this, Adam. It's like he gets sucked in. Cisco gets sucked into this wormhole, and there's these weird aliens, and they're trying to communicate with them, and they don't perceive time linearly. So it's like this weird challenge of
Oh,
like, how
wow.
the fuck do you like talk to this creature? And the thing that annoyed me to no end was that, like, the show started and it had this very interesting dichotomy because you have the Federation is there and they're all we're all science. And then the native population, they're like a super religious group of aliens.
Yeah,
sort
and
of
they
like
and they
this-
view everything that's happening in space as religious events.
Yes.
And then you
Seems
have
like
the
a problem.
Cardassians also who want to occupy the space.
Right. And so it's like this weird mix where the Federation doesn't really believe in like this religion shit, but they're sort of like placating the
My
the
god.
what was the name? I kept totally blanking on the name.
Bajorans.
The Bajorans, yeah.
yeah.
But then, and I like that, and I thought that was kind of interesting because you're watching Star Trek and you're like, oh, I know they're not gods, I know they're aliens. But
But
then
are
as the
they?
show progresses, it's like, no. Maybe they are gods. Maybe they are prophets. And I was like, what the fuck are you?
Wow.
This is Star Trek. Like, what the fuck are we doing talking about prophecies and destiny and all this bullshit? Like, why are we going down this road? Why are there demons? Why are there Dragon Ball
There's
Z
literal
like,
demons.
Kai battles
Is
going
this-
on in the middle of
oh.
a fucking space station?
So this
There's-
is why you didn't like it. Was this the
Yes,
ending?
I liked it
Okay,
at first,
yeah.
but it just got in this weird direction.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
that
love
sucks.
because I think that even the demon stuff that happened
Oh my
could
gosh.
be perceived of you didn't like that, Sedge.
The demons were so stupid. There should never be demons in Star Trek.
But
Yeah, that is jumping the shark.
so you
for Star
understand
Trek.
it. But, so there's this the perception that we can only understand things within so many realms of our capacity to understand things. If somebody was in like a fourth dimensional being, we wouldn't be able to understand its intersection within the third dimensional space.
Right, but see, that would be interesting. That has a topic that's covered a lot in other Star Trek episodes. Where
Yeah.
they're like, no, they're not a god, they're not a demon. It's just a fourth dimensional entity that you perceive that way. But in Deep Space Nine, they like totally drop the pretext. And Cisco's like, I'm the prophet, and they're literally some kind of deity.
But Cisco's
thing.
forced to. He's forced to do that.
But the show doesn't criticize what's happened. The show seems to be agreeing with this narrative.
I could see that. I could see that as a good
I mean,
criticism of
the
DS9.
like the end of it literally ends with fucking the Nurse Ratchet and
Yeah.
Cardassian falling into hell. Like that's how it fucking ends.
To be honest, yeah. It's a
Which- and
really
that
good
was-
show, though.
And that
I would
was
say
really disappointing too, because
overwhelmingly.
I really liked the character change of Ducat, and then for him to switch
Yeah.
back to being evil because he's like working for demons all of a sudden. I'm just
Absolutely.
Like, oh, my God.
Oh, that's the worst thing.
yes.
Yeah, that is
That's-
the worst thing of the show. Yeah.
The worst thing in the whole show.
Basically, after they had him lose the station during the war, they had nothing to do with him anymore.
right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
He's
they just
gone
made him a
crazy
cult.
now.
They made him a cult leader.
Yeah, he's
I
gone crazy.
recall.
He's starting a sex cult in space somewhere. Like, oh, great, Jesus.
I recall reading that the cult of the Power Race were supposed to be introduced a lot earlier, but they kind of fucked up the story.
Mhm.
And that last season was just a shit show, to be honest.
Yeah, it was, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of problems with the end of DS9. However, I would say overwhelmingly,
Mhm.
look, we're making, okay, TNG, excellent. Deep Space Nine, I would say better.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean,
I'm an original series fan, and I also love Voyager. So I'm not gonna.
I like Voyager too. I think it gets a lot of.
It has its
unnecessary
moments.
hate.
It has its moments.
Voyager is actually a really fun series. It's not like a deep thought series. It's more like fun.
Sure.
So that's why Voyager is interesting to me.
Well,
But-
and look, I like Deep Space Nine. I think it has some of the best character interactions. I like Ducat. I always like Quark and Odo. There's lots of good stuff in it.
I love Odo.
Yeah,
and
like,
Quark.
Mhm.
They're both great.
and I like the whole thing with the changelings and the changeling war and the Dominion.
Yeah,
It was all
and the
very
Dominion's
interesting. I liked all that stuff.
fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, it ended
DS9
kind of anticlimactically, but
Yeah.
that was all of
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine. Kind of ended anticlimactically.
I would say though, if you had to pick any Star Trek series, and it was the only Star Trek series you could ever watch ever again, for me, I would pick the original. But that's because
I've
I have
never
a
seen the
particular
original.
weirdness about that.
Mhm.
I love Spock, but like that's for me. But if I had to pick a second one, I'd pick DS9.
Well, let me ask you a question to annoy Adam further, because I know he doesn't.
Uh-huh.
Like this time.
I'm
I
sure he's
know.
having a really good time here. He's about to
well,
play his harmonica. I can see it's about to happen.
what was the name of the rebels in Deep Space Nine?
The Maquis.
The
Yeah,
Maquis.
the Maquis.
Okay, how do you guys feel about the Maquis? Because I think the Maquis are all terrible scumbags.
Yeah. There's
You agree?
scumbags in DS9. There's scumbags in Voyager.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were gonna take the other stand. I thought you were.
No, I don't like the Maquis.
That's really interesting. I know. I thought the Lulbitarian was gonna be like, no, the Maquis can defend their property.
Look, they should defend their property. The way they went about it is shit.
When they what? Hold on, Adam.
Wait.
Hold on, stop for a second.
The
So-
way they went about it by just attacking Federation colonies was shit, because that's what the Maquis did.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's fucked.
Right. Do you agree, Dev?
You know, they violated the NAP.
That's
The
true. they
Maquis
did.
fucked up.
What? The NAP. Oh my God.
Yeah, Adam, they violated the NAP in Star Trek.
How terrible.
I gotta say though, the best Star Trek series is definitely Picard.
Oh, you're just trolling. Okay.
We all know he's trolling him.
Fucking troll.
To be fair, I am gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch season 2 and love shitting on it. I
That
actually
is- yeah.
I
Yeah,
enjoy it 'cause it's so
let's
bad.
watch it. I would like to. I mean, I'll probably have to kill myself, but I'd love to watch it with you.
Have you seen the first season yet?
I've watched people watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. Oh no, I'd really rather drink cyanide.
I've listened to Red Letter Media watch it, and that's about the
Exactly.
size.
That's what I
Mm.
did, Sitch.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, same.
Jacob Sanker for $5 says, "Hey Aiden, would you do a video on diets looking at veganism, carnivorism, and the standard American diet and question the debate of eating animals?" Uh-oh, are you gonna dip your toe in the
Yeah, I
vegan
might.
debate? Are you a vegan or a vegetarian, Aiden?
No, I'm doing
Okay.
keto right now, which basically means I'm
Oh
I'm
my
eating,
God, you're like
like
a-
90% meat.
Look,
Look.
is Sargon's keto fascism rubbing off?
No, it's because this time last year I weighed 60 pounds, and I
Jeez.
had to gain weight back because I got really sick, and that's why I weighed that
60 pounds.
Yeah, relax.
Well, not this time. So a little
Wow.
bit like in February or March of last year. Yeah, I weighed about 60 pounds.
What you
And-
got to be like 4 foot tall. Like how tall are you?
I'm 5'7". And so
5'7"?
I was really sick. I had to go to the hospital for 3 months because I got really sick.
Hmm.
I couldn't eat. I felt so sick all the time I couldn't eat.
Wow. that
But
sucks.
then I ate ice cream for like 12 months.
Yeah.
That helps.
But guess what happens is then you end up being a little bit over what you want.
Yeah.
So so now I have
love
to like
ice cream.
my ideal weight's like about 120 for being 5'7". I'm like 130 right now. I'm trying to lose like 10 pounds. And so I'm doing keto right now to do that. So yeah, I'd absolutely be willing to talk about it. I've done vegan and vegetarian diets before because I don't have a problem with them. And I do a lot of cooking. So yeah, Dev, I'd be more than willing to talk about dietary stuff. And actually, I know a lot about the chemistry behind that. So
It's
more than willing to
Jacob
talk about it.
Sanker. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm still fat, but I used to be a lot fatter. Like I'm
Oh,
also
you've
5.
lost a lot of weight, haven't you,
Yeah.
Dev?
Yes, I used to, I'm also 5'7".
Mhm.
And I used to be at my maximum like 330 pounds.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
It was really, really fat. And
Wow.
now I'm like around 210. And my
Okay.
goal is 180.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
I'm
good.
getting there.
Desert Runner for 5 Aussie says, sorry, Sitch and CT, but it did awaken something in me. I don't, it must be an inside joke.
It's awakened
Caffeinated-
something in me.
CT drew her first Sitch-chan. Sexy
Oh,
Sitch-chan picture.
oh. Can we show it? Is
I
that
hope this isn't
it's on-
awakened something in me.
It's on Twitter if you want.
it's in the DMs or
I'll put it in the DM.
bring it up. I don't, you just share your screen. Oh, Sitch is like, I have too many tabs.
I
I'm
have
gonna
too many porn
accidentally
tabs
share.
open at the moment.
Caffeinated Tweaker for 2 Canadian says, can I have Sitch back now? We have crimes to commit. Sitch can leave whenever he wants. I don't know.
This is
Orion,
normally
the-
when we watch the cult stuff, but
Orion,
Actually,
the above-
I do have to go though.
All right.
Yeah,
Take
it
care,
is.
Deb. Thanks for dropping in.
Bye,
It's a lot
Deb.
of fun talking to
Bye,
you.
Deb.
I have one question before I go, if you don't mind. It'll be
Sure.
a quick one. How did you rope Lance into being on your show after everything else?
Rope Lance, what I asked him if he wanted to come on.
Oh,
And
okay.
he just came on. But he did, there was that weird thing because I think he came on thinking Sargon might come on, and because Sargon comes on like a lot on our show. So
Yeah.
he might have, and I think Sargon even messaged me and was like, am I on a show with you today? Because I'm getting these weird messages.
I don't think Lance thought Sargon was going to come on. I think he was saying this to his audience to play it up.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's
how it came
probably
off to
it.
me.
Yeah.
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 But it was cool. I
Lance-
like having
Well,
him on. It was
Deb,
fun.
you could always come on. You're like Sargon light.
Deb
Sargon-
has been
I
on
get
our
called
show, yeah.
Sargon Light a lot.
I'm not saying it's to be rude. I'm just saying that's what people.
Do you want to have a little talk with Lance or something like that? Maybe I could. I mean, Lance likes me, so
Well,
Wait,
he
Lance-
knows all of you are like racist Nazi pieces of
I'm a big
shit. But he,
racist Nazi.
That's true. That's true.
but he likes me, so
Lance thinks I'm a fascist, so oh, well.
Lance probably thinks I'm a fascist too.
if
so-
I reel Lance in, if I bring Lance in for our side of the culture war, that's like huge, right?
So you're
I'm
gonna
like I'm a made man if that
you're
happens.
gonna Hunter Avalon Lance? Is that what you're saying?
If I
No,
love
don't.
that there's a term for it. I hate that it's Hunter Avalon because it kind of makes
Oh,
you
it's so
it kind of makes you
fucking
seem like
sad,
you're
dude.
like a turncoat or something. Like
No, it seems like you're trying to indoctrinate someone's what it seems like.
Mhm.
The thing
Yeah.
is, like Lance seems like a really friendly, nice guy.
he looks
It-
just like my cousin.
It-
He's already cool.
but then as soon as like he talks about politics, it's like instant brain rot. And I'm like, oh my god.
True.
But when he's not talking about politics, he seems really friendly.
Yeah, he does.
Which is
I like,
and like
a lot of his videos actually. I don't agree with what he's saying, but he seems like a friendly guy.
yeah,
Well,
like,
Lance and I both have the low IQ thing in common, so we do have. we do have
Adam, please don't be self-disparaging.
I'm just kidding.
I
when
I'm
know.
really making fun of Lance, but
Oh,
like I listened to I listened to a lot of BreadTube in the past year because I've kind of been curious, right? And
oh no, Brad
They-
curious.
they all
Whoa.
seem like with the sole exception of Lance, they all seem just like hateful, spiteful people.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what
Totally.
that's why I won't. I mean, I have very rarely been invited into conversations with those kinds of people because, first of all, I would never accept them. Secondly, the people,
We'll take that.
Yeah, that's the main reason I wouldn't accept it, because I don't want to get. I guess again, the reason though is that you can't disparage me more than I've already been disparaged. But I'm not a debater, so I don't know.
hmm
But
I-
I think Lance he seems to be a honest person.
I don't
Yeah.
agree.
Oh,
with
I-
it.
No,
I
I,
wouldn't say
don't,
he's
agree-
honest.
I don't
all
agree
this-
with
no,
that either.
no.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
you
like
don't
all this
think he's
Lance
honest?
sucking up
No,
that's happening here.
no. He's
Yeah.
kind, but he's not honest. No.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
Yeah.
distinction. I like that. Yes.
Mm. Okay, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
Take care, man. Thanks
Later.
for
Bye,
coming
Jeff.
on. Thanks for joining in.